baby. Let's go. And we're doing it live. Everybody thought that I was playing. We are doing it live. The GRG podcast is in full effect. Hey, guys, guess what this is?
A show that's
right now? Okay, stop. Okay, Knuckles, you're too young. You ain't
gotta be on point with it now. You're gonna be talking.
It's our 1 year anniversary.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, 1 year anniversary when we started the GRG podcast. Huh?
Man, hey, I hope you and your wife anniversary.
What? Okay, anyway, let's get with it. Yeah, last week's show without the ladies, it was wild, Jack. It was the fellas. It was too much, but we're gonna get back to the basics, get back to the fundamentals. So it was wild, Jack. We was the fellas. Come on, hey, but we're gonna get back to the basics. Dragons.
Hey, what the hell? What's going on?
That's like an echo or something going on.
That's dragons in and out. I'm here in the background. Come on, hey.
Somebody's playing it in the background. Come on now.
Yeah, that's dragons. Basics. Dragons.
Oh, lemon.
All right, yeah, gotta mute him. Gotta mute him. When he started talking, he was biting anyway. Let's get on to the fundamentals, and he was already messed up. Hey, hit me in the chat and let me know. Hit me in the chat and let me know that your mic is ready.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I was like, what? Hey, man, I got two of me. That would be dangerous for you.
It was like maybe stuck in a loop. I was like, "Hey, Megan, get us out of this."
I know, right? I feel like Twilight Zone.
Hey, and you know what I said? This is the first year anniversary, and with all the messed up things that was going on in the beginning of the show, I was like, "Not again,
oh, shit.
Not again."
Funny as hell.
Anyway, so let's get to it, man. Let's go to our panel. We are here. We deep. We ready. Let's start off with the ladies, the matriarchs. Glad to have you ladies back. What's been going on with you, Lady Infamous? What's going on?
Hey everyone, this is me, Lady Infamous 415, Grown Women Gaming, IntermediateGaming.com, and I've been, NBA Live 18 been digging into my soul, and I just can't stop playing. That's what I've been up to. I miss coming here on Fridays.
No, okay, all right, that's cool. Great to have you back as usual. And then we go on to our other matriarch, which is Delilah. She scratched out the HD and going to fiber band.
You're so great.
She was clowning. Yeah.
This thing that my husband and I we do every year, like we audit ourselves and try to see where we could save money. And so we start looking at other way we could save on internet, consolidating our insurance, stuff like that. And so we saw that we could save like $30 by switching to fiber and get better speeds. So that's kind of what we decided to do. And I'm happy with it so far. It's pretty fast, pretty good. Glad to be back on Friday. I'm sorry I missed you guys for like the last 2 weeks. It's been a process. So thank you for still rocking out with us. And happy to be back.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So yeah, it's glad to have you back as always. And oh man, let's pay the bills, man. Yeah, big shout out to Philosopher Doom. Shout out to year one. Congrats, y'all. Keep it going. Gave us a 10 spot, man. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love for real.
Yes, thank you.
Without you guys, like I've said a million times, man, without this panel and without you guys that listen to us and support us, man, we wouldn't be anything, man. So I definitely appreciate everybody and for everything that y'all's done and to help support me and to help support each other because, we kind of grown into a little family, man. You know what I'm saying? We have our dysfunctions, but it's been a great ride and we plan on getting bigger and better. So thank you. I hope you guys keep riding with us. So anyway, let's move on to did you get your mic up? 108 Dragons?
Mike, can I tell you I was muted?
No, I muted you. Because you was messing up.
Your light skin roots.
Yeah, man. Hey, I didn't eject those seats, you cuz. I just sit there and I just gave you the mute. So you know what I'm saying? So is it getting better? You still sound like you're biting a little bit. You good? Okay, all right, good. What's going on with you, man?
Life is good. I'm a little sick, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm still here to represent my peoples. Welcome back, ladies. Always a pleasure.
Yep.
All right, back to being muted. I'm sick.
Okay, all right, cool. Anyway, so let's get on to it. Moving on to that bum. He's been hiding from me on that Madden, man. Why you been hiding from me, Triple Cup Chuck? Where you at, man?
Man, every time I get ready to play you in Madden, you talking about some pants off, dance off time, pants off, dance off. I'm like, pants off, dance off after I knock your pants off in some Madden. But you don't want you be running from me, so I guess you running in the opposite direction make it feel like I'm running from you. I guess some I guess I don't know. My brain can't comprehend it.
Somebody dodging?
Yeah. He doing some Ali type shit. So
no man.
But anyway though, man, no, that's more like Floyd Mayweather. But anyway though, yeah, this your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm up. I'm ready to get into this gaming. Man, we through with this winter shit. I'm finished with it. Now it's back hot. We got the AC pumping. Perfect gaming weather for me.
Okay, cool. It was 78 degrees Thursday, and then it was 32 degrees today. So we don't know what's going on in Oklahoma. But regardless,
about 70, 80.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. So let's move on to that other bum. Man, you know what I'm saying? The Ram Nation stand up. You know what I'm saying? 100. When you gonna go ahead and get your L, your great big fat L from my glorious Rams?
Get that shit tonight. You know, my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. I'm about like 80%. Mega gave us this internet virus shit. Sick last week. Now we sick. Thank God for alcohol. Man,
no, you don't need to be drinking with that. I didn't touch any alcohol at all.
That was the problem because I'm 80% cured.
Couldn't touch nothing. Well, all right, cool. And then we move to our Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? You've been really busy in the news, man. You know what I'm saying? But man, I'm just saying there's been a lot of things going on, but you know what? We here, we support you. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with you, man? What's happening?
I ain't do shit.
Not yet.
As far as you know what, I say shit and then I kind of jump off Twitter because I've been busy, and then 100 be like, damn, what the hell are you doing? I was like, what the fuck? I ain't do shit. And be like, yo, everybody writing shit about you. I'm like, oh well, what am I supposed to do? I don't pay attention to that nonsense.
You know, you be egging that on yourself. Like,
yeah, but you know, I ain't say the last thing I said was Puerto Rock looked like old dude from New York Undercover. I didn't think that was a stretch.
Oh my god!
But he do look like that
yo,
dude.
He do though. That's
real. For real though. Hey, and the only reason why I saw because I'm sitting there talking to K Mega. What was it like 2-3 nights ago? You're sitting there talking. I was like, hold up, Puerto Rock look like this dude from New York Undercover. What's that dude's name? What's his name again?
I forgot what his name was. I used to watch New York Undercover all the time. That was my
hey,
shot.
Wasn't he the dancer on Beat It? From
Word. Yeah,
he was.
Hold up. Can we play Puerto Rock's theme song?
Can somebody please
beat it
on Puerto Rock's head and put it on that dude on Beat It? That would be.
You don't gotta put his head on there. You just gotta show the clip.
A big shout out to Puerto Rock, man. We got to bring him back on the show sometime and let Lemon get his talk on. Anyway, so anyway, and then we last but not least, man, it's our guy, part of the Intro Media Gaming crew, and you know what I'm saying, he's doing his thing with his podcast, Smash Podcast. Oh, I forgot, Triple Cup didn't even give no shout out to his own podcast, man. Why you ain't giving no shout out to your podcast, bro?
Man, I wasn't trying to do no intro shameless plug. I just wanted to come in here and get it.
Okay.
Say that at the end of the show, man. You can get shout outs at the end of the show. Like, this is not the end, this is the beginning. Let's get it.
I'm about to get it. Anyway,
it sounds like it discombobulated.
What's happening with you, know?
You know, just gaming, just doing what I can, man. That Monster Hunter's life right now, can't get away from it. It's so hard. I was like, but when I'm not doing that, I'm just, you know, doing whatever I got in my backlog, because I know you've been working on your own backlog over there with The Witcher.
The Witcher? Yes.
Yeah.
But you know, pretty much, you know, I'm just out around, you know, putting my name out there. You can catch me on Vibration with Triple Cup, and of course, I got my show every Saturday, Smash Podcast. But, you know, just glad to be here back with the IMG family here on GRG. So thank y'all as always for taking me out here and under y'all's wing.
Word, man. Shout out to my man Puerto Rock, man, for no doubt. No, you know what I mean?
Messy.
Be possible.
All right, man, let's get to it. Somebody playing the Beat It song? Come on. They're going to get me copyrighted immediately. Anyway, all right, let's get to these
Michael Jackson, something serious.
Michael Jackson is a beast. But anyway, let's get to it. All right, let's start off with the topics. Talking about Xbox booths. I know that it's, man, there was this little commotion going on earlier in the week talking about the concerns with the Xbox booth because it's smaller and basically that was an indication that they wasn't going to bring it, that they were basically going to just not show any games, and if they do show games, it's going to be just a bunch of indies or just the same stuff that we already know about. So I'm going to go to you, Delilah Miss Fiber. That's your name.
Miss Fiber.
Yeah, Miss Fiber. Anyway, so and get your thoughts on this. What do you think about this whole situation with the Xbox booths? And do you think that Xbox is going to bring it this year?
I absolutely do. I think they're gonna do something different this year. They already alluded to that last year, believe it or not. They talked about they're gonna do something even different in regards to like their media briefing. I think all that's gonna be different. I think their approach is just gonna be something a little bit more low key, and I think that was gonna be reflected in their booth size. That doesn't mean that they're gonna not have a presence. I think they're gonna have something off site, kind of like EA. But I think that's all it is. I wouldn't read too much into the booth size because that's still a large amount of space. It may not be as big as Nintendo or what Sony have reserved or however, but it's definitely still a pretty large size. So I seen the little map that they had shown, and but I definitely do believe Aaron Greenberg when he says that they're going to be doing something different. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I think it's crazy because people blow up these little things. And they think they know something when they don't, because they talk about Xbox booth last year being small, and Xbox booth had the most games. It was smaller, like in like actual square footage, but they had a ton of games in their booth. It was crazy crowded. Their booth was crazy crowded. So I just think it's the architecture and the way they set it up is gonna be a bit different. I think I think a lot of these booths are gonna be spread out a little bit more, just because there's a lot more people that's going to be there, and so they got to kind of make adjustments for the size and the scale of the show. But we'll see. I mean, this is all speculation at this point.
Right. Did you hear any more rumors about any of the games that were probably slated to be shown at E3?
No, not in my little circle. So I mean, I just hope to see something with Fable, something like that, and maybe a couple, them taking their IPs and kind of doing something new with them. At least that's what I'm hoping for, but nothing extra than what we've already heard.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, what about you, Infamous? What do you think about this whole booth discussion? Is it even necessary to talk about? Do you think that from the indication of the booth, because of whatever the size of it is that Xbox is not going to bring and show AAA games?
This is the thing with me. It's not the size of the stage. Like I put this in a tweet. It's not the size of the stage that you're presenting yourself with. It's the content that you bring.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Last year, Nintendo had the biggest space, but that wasn't my go-to spot at E3. For me, for my E3, I didn't know that was small. That space was small. To me, that the Xbox space was big, I think they're going to really just focus more on the games. And if they're trying to trim the cost on space, it don't matter to me. Because they can use that money that they trimming the space with towards something else towards E3. But there's people like on Twitter that really, like, I really see this every time. It's like if there's something that considers Xbox that looks like towards a negative, people will jump on that shit like white on rice. Like, oh, they're going to be trash because they don't have space. So what? You can have a gang of space and have trash content, and you just wasted money on some games that's not even worth it. So I'm not too worried about it at all, to be honest with you. I'm really not. It doesn't faze me at all. If I do have an opportunity to go this year, I'm just going to have the same amount of fun that I did last year, even better.
Right, and I definitely we're pretty much all planning to go this year. This will definitely be my first, and man, I'm stoked. I just just hope that nothing steps in between me and my dream, because I really want to get out there and I want to meet the gaming community. I also want to get out there and just be a part of it, because I have been a huge gaming fan for the majority of my life. And I just to get out there and to step into that and just experience from every platform. It's not just about Xbox. I'm really going to be super giddy at Xbox, but just everywhere, from Nintendo, PlayStation, PC, everything that I can see, I will be just enthralled and just excited about it. So, but anyway, yeah, the booth side shouldn't even matter. And if you would think about it, the booth side, PlayStation had that huge arena and showed less content, while Xbox showed like 42 games. So I don't know, but what do you think about this Triple Cup, Chuck?
Say, K Mega.
Yeah,
that sounded like you was talking about your bucket list at first. I like,
man, I just started reminiscing. I started thinking about it. I got dreams, boy. I can't wait to walk up in there.
I feel you. Ain't nothing wrong with that being on your bucket list. But with me, what's how that old saying going? It's not about the size of the ship. It's all about the
motion of the ocean.
Ocean and the ocean. Yeah, the old school saying. So it's about
the small things.
Listen to that.
I guess that's what they call Microsoft. So my whole thought, like you said, it's really not about the actual size. It's just about more positioning, and it might be a smaller location, but it might be more effective. Like, okay, this area here gonna automatically get more traffic, even though it look like you can pretty much go anywhere, everywhere, but certain locations hit harder than other locations, even though it might be smaller. And then it's how they dress it up and how they present it. I mean, they could actually do a magnificent job, because sometimes you go to a party and if the building too big, no matter how many people there, it seems like it's empty. But if you could kind of compact it a little bit perfectly, where everybody can have room and have a good time, I think it'd be the perfect thing to do. So, what I'm saying? These real business people, they know what they're doing. If they pulling this move off, it's for a reason.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. What about you, 100? Where are you on this? What are you concerned about the booth size? What is this? I know you made a video about it.
Yeah, they don't know what's going on, man. It just, people don't understand that is like a big old giant hall. It's with different things. It's not just Microsoft there. It's just not like Sony's there. It's just they have PC people that's there. They have Activision that's there. EA was right by Microsoft booth. You had people was playing Call of Duty tournaments. So come on, everybody want to be, I guess, what, architects? Like they didn't fail geometry in school. I know I did. Then I went to trigonometry, but I don't know. You can't. I love how Aaron did come out and say that's fake. I don't even think they even have it out yet. I don't think people don't know where they're going to be at. Not right. This is February, and we're talking about E3 in February. This is how social media then took the world by storm. Absolutely. We would never have this conversation 10 years ago.
Nope.
It wouldn't be part of nothing. Calm down. Microsoft is not tripping over. They know what they're doing. What they had last year was, to me, it was pretty cool. It was actually, like I say, like, you sit on the corner, by the liquor store, because you had everything right there. You was in the corner pocket, You didn't have to go, here and this and there. But I don't know why they act like Microsoft don't care about Xbox. And they do.
Okay, so before go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's like they don't care, but they care about Xbox. And just because someone made some diagram, because they got a diagram because they used to work at the convention center, like Microsoft had a bigger venue when they did their E3 awards. That's at UCLA. I mean USC. That's where the Trojans play basketball. That's a brand new facility. Sony went to Hollywood at a smaller capacity. I don't even think it even fit 5,000. But did they both show games? What's the difference? Nintendo do Nintendo Direct. Yeah, they're not even there. I don't hear nobody talking about no booth size there. Come on, we got to calm down this game and stop playing games and stop playing these numbers.
Yeah, now there's somebody in the chat that's listening to us, and it's Harry, and he was basically saying if Sony's booth would been this microscopic, that Sony would have been instantly called out and been in a real crisis. You know what I'm saying? Like if Sony went out in the step, like when Sony's CEO stepped down. Look, does anybody want to chime in on that? Because I find it to be ridiculous. I mean, I don't think anybody really would care except for ultra fanboys. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how big what Sony booth is, or
I'll take a bullet on this one for you.
Go ahead.
That one, we're talking about an event that's 4 months out. This is all pre-planned layouts. Nothing is set in stone. We're not going to hear about finalized stuff until April. People are getting all worked up over something that's been leaked. Apparently, that's all pre-finalized information. One, we don't even know if that's going to be the actual plans. Shut the hell up. You don't know. You're not the planner. You're not working with the E3 convention. You don't know what's going into that. As well as it doesn't matter about booth size. Everyone that was there at the event talked about how Sony's booth was so huge, but more than half of that was VR nonsense that no one was interested in.
And Destiny.
If Microsoft did a much different conference because they went longer than they typically did. They took the time to really push out a lot of content and then show off the Xbox One X. They did their big showpiece for their hardware. Now it's going to be all about software and what's been working on in the past 4 years, as well as what's going to be coming up. They have the big stuff that they need that's going to be coming out this year that they really need to push, and they need big hitting stuff. Yes. However, even if they have a small booth, they still have a big event like Fan Fest that's going to be there where they show off all their big stuff to people who are there. They had a big even with the booth size the way it is, they could be doing more active live streams and interviews there like they've been doing, as well as having their own special like show-offs that they could do. Because like Bone said, Nintendo has Nintendo Direct. They have their booth there that's showing off the stuff, but all their big conference stuff is done televised. And then they do all their little showpieces there. There's nothing wrong with that. They can do all the announcements that they want at any time. There's nothing wrong about the booth size. One, having that smaller booth size helps to put up a lot of the other developers that are showing. As people saw, Bethesda's booth got a little bit bigger. Ubisoft's booth got a little bit bigger. Every other smaller developer and publisher has been getting their stuff increased. That's a good thing. Yes, you're going to have everyone focusing on the big three and looking for stuff like that. However, this also helps those other people that are at E3 to show off what they're doing, because you have a lot of stuff coming from publishers like Devolver, as well as you have things coming from now, THQ Nordic. There's so many other things going on E3 besides the big three. But people don't look at it like that. They look at an excuse to always start this flaming console fanboy war bullshit that has no meaning. Yes, you can have your preference, but look at it for what the big event is. It's about upcoming software from everyone, not just the big three.
Right. What was you going to say, Delilah?
I was going to say, trust me, because he keeps saying, like, Bethesda had this huge booth, but Bethesda had a huge empty booth, because I swear to you, you really couldn't play hardly any games in Bethesda booth at all. They had 2 card games, and that was it. They just had a big empty stage.
Yeah, well that was last year. Last year they had a very. I'm just saying, like, people look at what I'm getting at is that people look at these charts and think that that's especially when they're not going to E3, that's what it's gonna be like when they get there. Oh, they're gonna have this big presence, and then you go and it's just a bunch of because they had a bunch of props and
it's all about how you position your own booth.
It was no games. There was no games. So
I know I'm gonna be there. I already got
no. There were booths in there that was just like wasted space.
Yeah,
really.
Yep.
Exactly.
Can I ask you guys to the panel the question? Now, that same hall that's E3 is in, because I live in LA, so the same hall is in there. We have, I don't know if you guys know about this, but they have the Dub Show. That's the motorcycle, cars, and ramps. Why they don't get the same funk? Because there's some people, I've been to the Dub Show, and it's been like, okay, this brand of rim that's been in the same where I saw Microsoft booth has been in the same booth, but I don't hear they fighting with each other. Man, you got the Chevy? Oh, that's the Toyota thing. I don't hear that. So why we can't come at a gaming community and look at, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I love the fanboys.
Yeah,
I love, I'm an admiral in it, but sometimes it's just dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Harry in the chat is on some craziness because he's saying a bigger booth means more hands-on games. No, that's not true.
I'm saying which means to me is that
what I'm trying to say.
It could mean that, but it could also mean that you got big ass statues.
And it also could mean that Harry hasn't been at E3. But anyway, let's go ahead to you, 108 Dragons.
Let me say something first of all.
Go ahead.
We have to stop entertaining these weirdos, fanboys. And I ain't saying you're not supposed to be a fan of any system you love, but some people are just irritable. They just want to look for anything to stir stuff up. And what's crazy is it seems like the people that stir shit up got more of a voice than the people with logic. That don't even make no sense. Last year, this dude, I'm gonna address this dude, Thumb directly. He said in the quote in the comments, Nintendo is going to be at E3, and they have more room than Microsoft. They had more room than Microsoft last year. They have 5,000 chaos set up with Mario playing in Zelda.
They had the year before that. They had one big gigantic booth with just Zelda in it, one game.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is the size does not matter. At the end of the day, if you just go back to last year, forget all the other three E3s. Microsoft had the smallest booth out the big three. Not only did they have the smallest booth, but they had the longest press conference and the most titles on stage. And for people to regurgitate nonsense this week about somebody putting out a map that, if it's correct or not, doesn't matter, because 99% of you people are not at E3. Y'all at home on your damn computers or your cell phones watching. So it don't matter what size the booth is, because you ain't even there. So what's the point? What is the point? By you saying, Sony's booth is bigger. 65% of their booth was Destiny 2. And
yes, it was.
And the other half was all VR stuff, man. No one cared about the VR.
Yeah, their booth was just probably empty too.
Point? You know what your point is? You weirdos have problems, and y'all look for anything to dispute, to debate, to ridicule, to disrespect what people out here doing. We shouldn't.
And I give it to Sony. Sony did have an outside booth though, right by Hooters.
But you know what? The size don't matter. Nintendo had a bigger booth than Microsoft, and their press conference was 25 minutes long. Facts.
Yeah. So
25 minutes. They showed Metroid Prime 4, the word. These retarded. Oh my God! Did you see that? Did you see that? Come on.
I mean, I saw a big old 4.
Come on. I'm gonna buy Metro Prime 4 too. But they showed the words, and you went crazy. Oh, they won! They won the show. They
on the live. They showed Lost Ark.
Limit. You gotta understand that typography got them in the field.
I don't care.
So there you go.
Sony showed the same trailers from the year before.
And then 2 months later, they showed the same trailers there, and then the same thing at PlayStation Experience.
They was like,
all gonna be home watching this E3 for 3-4 days from their couch.
Yeah.
And they learned about floor space. Just think of. I want everybody just to think about what these people complain about and where they're gonna be.
I mean, you have to think about it, man. Like that's like the people that was going for the Eagles against the Patriots. They didn't care about the Eagles. They didn't like the Eagles. They just didn't like the Patriots. That's why they said Nintendo won with that one game. That's the reason they said.
Yep, I'm one of them.
I mean, I'm one of them too.
550 off them Eagles, boy. Thank the Lord. Yes, Lord, that made my week.
Hey, look, man, I'm not gonna lie, man. I should have put some money down on that because I needed it.
Well, it's too late.
A lot of people pulled a Mike Tyson. They showed up to the game just to see the champs lose. I agree. I wanted the Patriots to lose too. I'm tired of seeing them win. I'm tired.
Here's the thing. I used to be a Pats fan, but after a while, they became so like overdone.
No, they're cheaters. They're cheaters.
Okay, look.
Welcome to an NFL chat
podcast will come. We this is gaming podcast. Let's get over it. Live wire. What's going on with you, man? With this situation with the booths? Do you even think that Xbox is going to even bring any heat? Because I mean, a lot of people if they're more worried about the booths, then I guess Xbox bringing heat, or I guess that they're thinking that since the booths are small, Xbox is not going to bring no heat.
I can't. To be honest, it's hard to even say what. I mean, I can see how people panic about booth size because they're like, "Oh man, more space. You can put more games," but then. It never turns out that way. It seems like the bigger space they have, there's just some huge elaborate thing that they have.
I'm sorry. Keep going, bro. I'm sorry. Keep going, bro. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
keep going, bro.
I would think they probably try to keep it condensed, make it feel like more of like an arcade. I mean, that's the way I would do it. Like you don't need as much space, make it more about the game. So just have, have it boxed in certain areas. You don't need, instead of having this huge boat for Sea of Thieves, which is great, but Sea of Thieves will already be out. So you don't need that shit. So I mean, they'll probably keep it to a minimum, like whatever they they have in store for their shit. But you know what the thing is? Like their games, we don't know. We all, you know, Crackdown, State of Decay. I'm assuming most of that shit will almost be out. I'm not even sure that's going to be at E3. So,
well, there's talks that at least either Crackdown or State of Decay is supposed to be coming in April to May. At least that's the rumor, anyways. We don't know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like they can't even like say if they even have a booth space, right? They can't have anything huge. Like, what if they have some big new epic thing, right? They're not gonna put that shit out like early because they gotta build that shit.
Yeah,
you know, if they put it out early, everybody will know, and somebody will leak it that Microsoft has something, we don't know what it is, but here's its hand or its foot or a gun or something, you know. So I don't know.
Look at this blurry image that looks like it's taken from the middle of a back store that you can't tell where it is.
Yeah. So I don't know. They might because none of their new games have been kind of like showcase shit. They might not need to have all that floor space because it's like nobody knows what it is. We can't really put anything up because we haven't shown it yet. So fuck it. We just stick to the games and then we'll do a bigger floor next year with all the props and all that wild shit.
Right. And you know what? And that's something that ABA Cab 72 brought up is that he said if they weren't bringing heat, you know what I'm saying, there wouldn't be an Xbox Fan Fest. So that sounds right. That sounds pretty appropriate because of the fact that they want to bring all the fans in and they want to show this. Now, if Knuckles is right that they're gonna bring Crackdown before E3, that would be a major plus because that means that game won't be shown and there'll be something else that'll take its place. And that's exactly what that would be great. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they did say that these games were going to be coming out before E3, and you know there was some kind of rumor that Crackdown was going to come out in June, but who knows because we haven't got official dates on State of Decay or Crackdown yet. So anyway, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic, man. It was good, great discussion. I just don't understand why people even concerned about the booths. I mean, that's the wildest thing that I've ever seen.
Something it's just shade they can throw to.
To be honest, I don't think they're gonna talk about Crackdown or State of Decay until after they launch Sea of Thieves. I think they want to make sure that nothing they're doing is gonna kind of steer people away from what they already have.
Right.
Well, I mean that's a good point, but at the same time, they're very different games that are hitting very different notes and different genres for different amounts of people, as well as you got to think too, especially with the announcement of every game coming out and Game Pass now, especially when they first name dropped, they said, yeah, Sea of Thieves will be in it. So will State of Decay. So will Crackdown. And then any future Halos, Forzas, Gears, all that stuff. We already know that they're not going to be pulling things away because it's all going to be in Game Pass. And they've been hyping that up. Yeah.
Well, also, but you got to look at it. But you got to look at it like this, though, too, Knuckles, is that what Live is saying is pretty accurate because even though all these games are different, the people that don't like Xbox are going to clamor and put them games all together as one anyway. They'll say either, well, we've been waiting for these games since 2014, just like they put Halo, Gears, and Forza, they'll put Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, State of Decay. They already are putting them into one basket anyway. So, I'm saying. And while Sea of Thieves have such great, a lot of potential, and also check this out. There was something that brought up about Sea of Thieves that Sea of Thieves had less than 1% cancellation rate after the beta. And even after the news of Game Pass. So that should tell you that gamers are very, very, very interested into Sea of Thieves. I think more so than what a lot of people have been projected. I knew that this game was going to be a streaming sensation, but I didn't think that this game was going to get this much clout. But I mean, this is exactly what gamers has been asking for, is something that's different from Xbox, and it is different, but it still stays into their platform, to what their identity is, which is multiplayer games. Yeah. So
it's not a slave simulator. I saw that shit on Twitter earlier today. It's not a slave simulator, so y'all better go.
And I'm gonna add to that.
I don't know who said it. I saw slave simulator. Man, we was black people can play together, white people can play together. It's Black History Month and everything. We all play together. We love each other. No, I'm saying love is the rainbow. No, ain't no rainbow.
Okay, anyway, 100's trying to ramble. He's trying to ramble. Keep on moving. Let's get to the second topic. 100 drinking. All right.
Hey, Megan.
What up?
No, exactly what you were saying. That's exactly why you're supposed to market that game first.
Right. That's exactly what you got to. Yeah, exactly. You do every individual game.
Xbox, what's going on?
Yeah, what's up, Jazzy?
Fam.
Hey
man, that dude is Jazzy is a true representative for the GRG family, man. That's why he got the logo. Yeah. He's one of our sponsors. If anybody wants to be a sponsor for the GRG podcast, please go ahead and do that. Hit us up, man. Show that love and that dedication. Not for me, but for the ladies.
Hit that dislike button.
Well, we already got dislike. We got 2 dislikes. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We don't get those dislikes. We're gonna feel like something ain't right. Yeah, so he said. Anyway, so let's get on to the second topic. THQ Nordic acquired Coach Media and Coach.
It's Coach. It's Cock. It's Cock. It's Cock Media. It's the Cock Brothers or Coke Brothers.
Man, Coke. Like you're drinking a Coke.
Hey, I think
they got a division here in Atlanta.
You see, hold on, wait a minute. Well, I mean,
I think nothing's right.
Okay, look. Hold on. Okay, regardless, let everybody on this podcast be country.
They hang out with the Bang Bros. I'm confused.
Coke Media, and Deep Silver. All right, so regardless, you know what I'm saying. People will definitely correct us if we are wrong on how to pronounce. Because it is the Koch brothers. So anyway, y'all tripping. So anyway, let's get on Livewire. What is your thoughts about this? I know a lot of people have been saying why Xbox didn't go ahead and try to get Metro or didn't try to go after any of those other RPPs that was available when THQ let them go in the first place. But I mean, do you think that this is a good look, or do you think that they should be going somewhere else? What's going on? Because I mean, in 2012 they did release Saints. They let all these games go, Saints Row and all the rest, but they got them back. So what do you think?
I don't think Microsoft is in the business of trying to necessarily buy up a bunch of other people's games, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. I think they have games that they already kind of know they want to make, and then the rest they rather kind of make deals for, especially when it comes to that Game Pass shit. Mm-hmm. To me, especially with Game Pass, it's like, why fucking buy a studio when you could just kind of entice them with the whole Game Pass and give them like a guaranteed funding for their game. Like, look, man, drop your game in here, we'll guarantee to pay this much money for it, and you get this much extra based on how many people download the game, Right. To me, I don't like. I think that's the route they're going. They're just much rather kind of do their own game stuff. And most of those games that you're talking about are single player games. They ain't trying to buy a bunch of single player games. They will like I said, will fund devs and have them use them for their game, either Game Pass or maybe like a year exclusive, but they're not trying to take single devs on because they don't have that type of audience like that. Like if they did, it'd be different. It'd be if Xbox gamers were huge single player buyers, like we just bought a ton of single player games, it would still make sense for Xbox to do. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Like Xbox games, especially the ones that are successful, usually have either a strong multiplayer or a strong multiplayer and single player. But rarely do you see a successful Xbox game that's just a strong single player. I mean, other than The Witcher, even Fable wasn't huge like that. You know what I mean? Like Fable, I think at its height, and you gotta remember at its height, and when Xbox was the shit, it was like 3 mil. But Xbox had to be the shit. Like it had. Think about that. Like PlayStation, the reason why a lot of these games, when they do sell well, is because they're the hot thing. You know what I mean? But if they weren't the hot thing, those games wouldn't sell like that. They just wouldn't. I mean, but that's the benefit of being number one. Yeah.
Right. No, I totally agree.
You get the foul calls. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
The benefit of the doubt.
Well, let me big shout out to Jazzy because I just seen that he gave a $10 donation to the team. Appreciate it. And then he says, love the GRG fam. Matto is going to be fired tonight, nigga. I know I'm finna watch my Rachel Maddow after the show, or if it's already recorded. If not after the show, I will watch her in the Saturday morning, man.
Hey, lady, didn't you just stop him from making this?
Infamous, you messed up. I seen that shit.
I'm showing my love. I'm showing my love to my boy Jazzy, man. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's go.
What did I do? What did I do?
No, don't even act like you ain't doing nothing. I got people.
I know Infamous. Yeah, Infamous. Every time. I got you. Anyway, 108 Dragons. The whole THQ Nordic acquiring the coat. What is it? The Cokes. What? I'm not going to say what my boy Knuckles has said, but regardless. And Deep Silver. Is this great for them, or should Microsoft have tried to go after some of those IPs? Maybe Saints Row.
I don't believe Microsoft is in the job of saving anybody.
Okay. Thank you.
They don't see a benefit for themselves, which Sony didn't save them, neither did Nintendo. THQ was in financial trouble. They got their IPs back, and they need to make those IPs good enough to maintain them. I don't think Microsoft should have bought nobody, because I'm still thinking that, until Sea of Thieves, that all that money they gave Rare or gave up for Rare, what have they really done? So
that's a whole nother conversation.
No, true indeed, but I'm just saying, like, just in the general thing, I think they're tired of that, and the money they gave Peter Molyneux and Platinum Games, and I think they just want to develop their own. If you notice, what Phil always goes into is they're putting more time and money into their own developmental teams.
That's building them in house.
Yeah.
So I think I don't think they should have. I'm happy THQ got it back. Now, don't just get it back, do something with it, because those are franchises that people love, especially Saints Row and Metro. Metro was more of a hardcore basis. That's why when people went crazy to see Exodus, I was shocked, because neither one of those games are huge sellers. Either one of those Metro 2033s, but it's good they got them back. Make them work,
Yeah, no, there's no doubt about that. All right, what about you, Infamous? What do you think about this whole acquiring THQ getting their IPs back, basically?
It's gonna be a short answer. It's not on my radar. So if it's not on my particular gaming radar, it don't matter to me. Saints Row was a good series in the beginning. But when Saints Row 3 dropped, that was like, I don't know. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't as good as 1 and 2. And then Saints Row 4 was straight hot trash. You know what I mean?
You didn't like 4?
I did not like 4.
Which one's the one they went to go fight the devil?
No, that was Gat Out of Hell. That was Gat Out of Hell.
Yeah, I'm good.
That was
DLC went from Grand Theft Auto to Constantine. I'm good.
So I'm like,
hey, I dug that one though.
After I played Saints Row 4, I just didn't even care about that. And if they make, I don't care if they make a better title of Saints Row 4 or Saints Row, because they're gonna have to compete with GTA 5 or GTA Rockstar. They can't compete with that. I mean, in the beginning, they had a good open world map. You could be able to do stuff, just like some similarities into GTA 5. But for them to pick this up, what games y'all want to do? Like, what games that's gonna entice me to spend my money?
Metro for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
That's Metro.
I mean, on THQ.
Metro, like Metro Last Light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask a pound or something. Any one of y'all ever beat Metro?
Yes.
I
beat to the backlog.
It's stuck at a point.
I like it for what I played.
That game is dope, but it's hard as hell. Most people
very difficult game.
They can't get through it.
Yeah.
I'm a Metro fan, but I would not tell nobody to go out and buy that game, because it's not for everybody.
It's even harder to do that whole game through stealth, because I've done that, and that's ridiculous.
That game is hard, man.
I beat the first game because I had the Redux. I haven't had time to go through it because it's in my backlog. But I was like, but I got all the achievements for the first game, and then started the second game on the 360 before I moved up to my 1. So it's all I got it in my backlog to do the Redux before Exodus comes out, because I love that. Like the atmosphere, that one is probably one of the most immersive games because there is no UI. It's all in the game. It doesn't break the immersion. It's really like creepy atmosphere because it's that same kind of post-apocalyptic. If you played the Stalker series is phenomenal for that, and having that kind of nuclear winter in the middle of Russia.
Yeah,
and
that
going through
yeah,
tunnels
I
is just
give-
like amazing.
Yeah, I give that props on that particular game. That atmosphere was great in that game. I give that credit.
Yeah, well, I mean, what about you, Delilah? Go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Yeah, so I just think it's great that they were able to get their IPs back, because I was kind of upset when they closed their doors back then, THQ. So it's great to see kind of like a means to an end. I mean, they're able to get the IPs back, and this is kind of one of the first kind of success stories, if you will, of a closed studio that kind of just make it back, and that, to me, that should be commended. And so yeah, I mean, I'm happy that there is actual like a THQ and they got all the IPs back, and it's just a good story, because I know I was a few years ago, prior to them going, closing their doors, like I was a THQ fan, like and so to see that happen, and just to kind of, we still talking about THQ, and that, to me, that's just great to be in 2018 talking about THQ.
You got to think too that THQ has history. It's been one of those big companies that helped kind of push, the industry in the early days, kind of like how Midway had such a big impact. THQ was another one of those big driving forces for a lot of what they had in the early days. Especially look at Atari and Sega. All of them have foundations in helping to really bring, the gaming industry forward in a lot of things. And I'm glad that, to me personally, I'm really glad that THQ Nordic picked up, Deep Silver and Koch Media to get all these IPs back, because it's like a full circle thing. They're all coming back under one house, coming back together. And one thing that I give a lot of love is that Nordic was already a small publisher before, and they were doing their own thing. Now they're pulling in a lot, and they're giving these developers and old studios new chances again, and bringing new life and revitalizing these franchises that have been bought but kind of been not used at all. Like the fact that they brought Gunfire Games, which is made up of all the old devs from Vigil Games, to do Darksiders. I'm excited when they made.
No, I can't wait.
Yeah, and when they announced Darksiders 3, I got literally jumped out of my seat excited, because the Darksiders is such a unique take on that biblical mythology and the way that they portray the Horsemen. I was excited for that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Cool. And I like the fact that this is a lady protagonist. It's really dope. Yeah,
it's supposed to be a lady from the beginning. Like,
she was always Fury was always one of the four horsemen. She was always the sister out of everyone. And I'm glad they just the thing about it is that over the years, from the first Darksiders to what we saw in Darksiders 2, and then what they put in the remasters, is that her look always changed because they were never set on her. And then after 2, when they were sold off and weren't bought up until THQ Nordic bought them, they still didn't have any plans for how they were going to do her until they did the comic shortly before they did the re-releases of the remasters, which is great to see. As well as, with them now, maybe Dead Island 2 might actually get some off the ground leg work. As well as
I don't know, man. Dead Island, bruh. I really don't know.
I'm just saying.
I don't even know if really people that really have that motivation. I mean, we know zombie games, to me, there's only a few zombie games that can last the test of time, and I don't know if that game could do it. I just don't.
I agree, but I think that one, it was definitely was well at its time, and it just needs that attention. I was like, a lot of these games went so far one way or the other that some of them kind of got lost in their way, and that they were just going with a developer that didn't really have that kind of drive for them. And it's good to see them all kind of coming back. Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, woo! Look at this, showing some love, man. Definitely appreciate Stop 6 Dot just showing some love for us, man. Drop a $20, dropped a dub, man. I mean, look, man, this is gonna be dangerous because Infamous is gonna come for me with her razor, man, and she keeps it under her tongue. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Look,
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I
Appreciate it.
No, we appreciate it. No, we appreciate it.
And Biomutant, yeah.
No, let me. Well, hold on. Let me just say this. Man, we do appreciate the love coming from you guys. That's why I'm thinking about going and doing it another way, because YouTube, the money that you guys give, YouTube takes it. They take like 80% of it. You know what I'm saying? And like when I go and I check, because I want to spread it around, and especially like for the ladies when they do GWG, or like if Intro Media Gaming, they do stuff, or you know what I'm saying, for anything else, I want to try to kind of spread the money around. YouTube takes it, Jack. So I understand, and I used to be a hater of Patreons because I didn't understand it. But now after looking at it, I understand it. So I have to start really thinking about really hard and clear about doing a Patreon.
Pay us from now on.
But come on, man. We really appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Salaries now came back up.
Man, we need to save it for E3. Save it for E3. Yeah,
I can save it for E3. I can do it. So if we do, So that, I was going to talk to them about a Patreon and things like that. But yeah, man, I'm thinking about getting started to do a Patreon, not only just for the GRG family, but you know, for everybody that's involved for Intro Media Gaming, and for everybody that's a part of Intro Media Gaming and the GRG family. So because I want to see everybody grow.
We got a Patreon already. Nobody don't go to it
because you don't know how to talk to people. That's your problem.
Damn.
Nobody can support it because you talking crazy. You be talking crazy and stuff. Last week,
I gotta kiss somebody ass. I ain't gonna kiss nobody ass.
Hold on, y'all.
We going left.
Real quick.
Let's
stay on topic. Come on, next topic. Keep it moving.
Next subject.
Oh, man.
Cuss his ass out tonight.
See the lady. We need the ladies here, because if not, we get it too far.
I know the ladies keeps this show right. 100. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm about to.
Take the boss man in the back later. You talk with him there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he ain't my boss man. He's y'all's boss man.
I can talk about that there. Let's go.
Anyway, let's get to it. Delilah, did you have anything else to say that?
No, nothing to add.
Okay, all right. What about you, Triple Cup Chuck? What about this acquirement? You know what I'm saying? Was you a fan of Saints Row?
Hell no. But
what about wrestling? Because a lot of people wish that THQ.
Man, look, since you said that, me and THQ, we go all the way back to that Nintendo 64 with that WCW and the WWF Raw. Man, them to me was the best wrestling games ever. And the way they formatted, I was like, okay, yeah. But this 2K wrestling, I don't even like it because it don't feel right. Man, I've been wishing for another THQ wrestling forever. I mean, they got iconic games, but Microsoft, even though I love this company, but Microsoft purchasing them, nah, they wouldn't be worth the money or the effort. I mean, I'm glad that they got a little shake back and be able to do something, but I know they was the company that was gonna bring us a lot of AA games. So hopefully we'll better start getting a lot of those games back. I mean, the newer ones that a lot of people are interested in, I don't really too much care for, but I'm like, you know, I'm a person who, you know what I'm saying, I'm happy with to see all my people happy. So when it's something that's coming out, I cheer along with you because, you know what I'm saying, I like to see when people happy get stuff that they want as well as when I get the things that I want. You know what I'm saying? I got that mutual feeling. So I'm happy for THQ right now. And, you know what I'm saying, Microsoft don't need to mess with them. You know what I'm saying? That just allows cause. They actually shouldn't PUBG. I wouldn't buy that either. Because you know, by the end of the year, when Battlefield come out, Battlefield gonna have a PUBG mode. Call of Duty gonna have a PUBG mode. So might well let the PlayStation get it now. It's over with. The hype gonna be gone by the time then, so they can save their money with that game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. That was well said.
We gotta go on left look, man, but Battle Royale modes this year, this gen is last gen's horde mode. Everyone's trying to hop on what's really popping now.
Right. Yeah. And what was the last game that they made? What was it? Anthem.
H1Z1?
No. It was the game that was kind of like Saints Row, but it was a single player.
Agents of Mayhem.
Agents of Mayhem. Yeah, that game did not sell well at all. So
because it was a step away from what Volition does with the Saints Row series. It wasn't Saints Row.
Yeah, Saints Row, like Infamous said earlier, was great with I like the first three. Even when he was kind of going over the top, jumping out of the plane, you know what I'm saying, and being wild and people died.
Ass naked.
Yeah, but yeah,
people were complaining about that game going over the top. I mean, that was the same thing with what's
well,
it?
4 went. Well, I know where they was trying to do with 4, with all that. When it was just with the superpower. Because didn't they start that with 3? Because 3 he started having more powers and things. But
no,
they try to separate themselves from Grand Theft Auto.
From Grand Theft Auto, which I don't think they should, because they did a better job of doing what I think Grand Theft Auto stole from Saints Row, because it was hood. You know what I'm saying? That game was legit. And
the first 2, were straight.
Yeah, the first 2 were straight hood, and then they just kind of they got overwhelmed by the Grand Theft Auto machine, and they should have just stayed their guns. And I think a lot of people would have still supported them. But again, they just wanted to go more over the top, and some people liked it. And a lot of people that were traditionals moved on to Grand Theft Auto because they kept true to what they were doing. So it's kind of unfortunate.
And Grand Theft Auto too big of a juggernaut now to go back.
Another game that was big, True Crime Streets of LA.
Oh, that was a dope game. That was a real dope game. That was a dope game. But look, I mean, Darkstalkers is going to be really good. I'm really Darksiders. I'm sorry. I'm starting to.
Darkstalkers
on this Ciroc. I'm starting to start on this Ciroc right now. I'm sorry.
He's slurring.
No, I'm not slurring. I'm not slurring.
It ain't. When you start slurring, that is over with.
No. I'll cut it off. I'll cut the podcast off. I'll say Delilah, take over. I'm done. Anyway, let's get on to the next topic. Okay, this is it right here, man. I don't know if you heard this rumor. This is give a big shout out to my boy Z. I went and looked for it myself, and I seen that there's a lot of uproar going on right now between EA and Lucasfilms, or I should say Disney. And and basically right now, the question that I want to ask, and I'm going to go to you, 108 Dragons, is will EA lose Star Wars? And also, Lucasfilms is in talks with Activision and Ubisoft for other projects. So do you think that they'll not only leave EA and use Activision and Ubisoft to not only make the game that they've been using, or is it just that they want to reach out to every other company, third-party company out there to try to branch off?
They could be just looking at other people's ideas, because let's just keep it official. They have did a great job with that Star Wars brand. They brought Star Wars Battlefront back. The last one saw, I think, like 16, 17 million. And this one didn't do what they wanted it to do, but it ain't flop. It ain't doing bad. It's not a bad game. It's better than the last one. Has all the modes people wanted. I just think they just testing different ideas and see what people bring to the table. I don't believe EA is going to lose anything. I think they're going to hold on to the brand because, that's what they're known for. So they're going to put up some money. Activision going to give them a little challenge, though. They definitely going to do that. But if they do go somewhere else, we're going to lose, because that means they're going to start other projects from scratch. So what generation of console will we be playing these games? So do we want that? I don't know. That's kind of rough right there.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. But I mean, is EA in that much hot water for Disney to pull out of their deal?
No, like I said,
I would say so. Yeah.
Hold on. Let 108 Strikers finish what he said.
That last game didn't flop. It just listen. We know EA and their investors. They crazy. They put out a game that was broke because they didn't want to break a street date. Let's not forget Battlefield 4. Yep. So you can't look at EA and drop any logic with them, because they're different. Now you got developers fighting against them, like Dice said with Battlefield 1. We ain't putting it out till it's ready after that last debacle. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they're really in hot water. I think more of the hot water was the microtransactions with the public more than anything else, and the rebuttal behind that. But in terms of the game is solid. It's gorgeous. I mean, so they can't be in too much of a hot water. But the microtransactions, everybody's in trouble with that. Everybody. Only game I didn't see recently that has their microtransactions is Sea of Thieves, and they're all cosmetic, so people don't care. It ain't purchased to win. So I don't really believe that EA is in that much trouble that they can lose a franchise. I mean, can anybody else tell me something different?
I think so.
I mean, they just put a little hot water under them. Just go talk to other people making EA. You know, say if it was a relationship or so-called jealous. I don't think it's nothing going to be serious though.
I don't know. I think it can be very serious because you got to think about this. All right, so EA and Disney announced this partnership and this exclusivity deal for 10 years back in 2013. What have they done with that license since then? In 5 years, we've gotten 2 Battlefront games. The first one was very lackluster. Yes, it got fun over time, but it had a very soft launch. Yeah, it did the numbers. However, they didn't have any of the content that took them quite a while to fill out. And everything else that they had in the works, every other game project for the Star Wars license has gotten canceled. They've canceled at least 2 to 3 different projects in that time frame. And then when they put out Battlefront 2 to rush it out before Last Jedi, they may have had more content in it compared to the first one. However, they also heated themselves when they pushed the loot boxes. Part of that does go on Lucasfilms because they were talking with them at the same time. However, EA still has a lot of control in that aspect. So you're telling me in a 10-year exclusivity deal, they put out less than 2 games and canceled 3 others. That is not good.
Hey, but look at this Knuckles though. How long do you think it take to put out a AAA game? I mean, they made the deal, so that means that's when they probably started working on the games. So of course, for the first 4 years, it's gonna be kind of lackluster. But then when it get down to the 8th and 9th and 10th year, it's gonna be like game. Maybe even when it start hitting 6, when it can get at least a 5-year stride.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. Is that the projects that they had in work, they've already canceled most of those. And
that's that because we in the spotlight too much. We digging too much. It's games like this get canceled all the time. This is nothing new. That's just probably something that happens.
But
anybody have council games like that.
Star Wars is their moneymaker. That's one of their biggest franchises. And when you're causing that much scrutiny, no, because the thing about it is that Disney doesn't like a lot of attention negatively on any of their franchises.
Yeah.
Disney is not afraid to pull money from any project if it is not going the way they want it and not making the money that they want. They will not hesitate. We saw that with Marvel Heroes, with the Omega game that launched back in August, September, and then 2-3 months later was cut.
That's small though. We talking about
that's what I'm saying is that it's still the Marvel license. It's one.
Okay, Knuckles, breathe.
Sorry,
yeah.
But Knuckles, hang on. I actually found this. I saw the video. I saw the article today. Y'all ain't caught the elephant in the room. It said Lucasfilms.
That's what I said.
Hang on. They don't run shit with none of them video games. That's between another division to Disney. Anything that said something with Disney.
Well, Lucasfilms incorporated LucasArts.
Yeah, no. It's when they got rid of them games,
Star Wars.
Disney got rid of that whole gaming division. So they got rid of it. Check this out. Why last week, when the earnings call came out from EA, you know what I'm saying? Damn, so much fatigue. They said that we have the investors asked, everything is cool. We have a beautiful relationship with EA. A lot of people
they're going to say that because it's an investor's call. They're not going to put.
But you can't know. But think about it. When you're playing with stocks and bonds, you can't lie. If they count you, that's insider trading. You can't lie. So if you don't, and your investors don't, they can pull out. You're lying to your investors. That is like if I own a business, I'm lying like, oh yeah, we're making money over fists and all that. Thing about it,
EA is not going to bag. EA got no power to get no clout though.
If something going to happen,
they don't have that type of clout.
Like the NBA.
But you got to think
somebody's going to get bought out. Somebody's going to get bought out.
But you also got to think too is that we don't know the full extent of the deal. It is an exclusivity deal. Yeah, we don't know, but but here's the thing. You got to think that Disney is not going to put themselves in a corner without any out. They're smarter than that.
But look what the article said. It said LucasArts. It didn't say Disney.
That was talking about okay, gentlemen, calm down. Listen.
Disney. You don't hear LucasArts.
Hold on, listen. They're talking. Okay, that's just one end of it, though. They're saying Lucasfilms is talking with Ubisoft and Activision about other projects.
Yeah.
But the underlying big issue right now is relationship between Disney and EA because of the loot crates. That really has caused a lot. Hold on, Knuckles. A lot of issues and problems that's going way deeper, so deep that you got legislators out here that's getting involved, not only in this country but all over the world, and they're even saying to the point of saying, look, well, we don't want people to get invested into loot crates until they're 21, because if they're younger, they could be influenced on purchasing this, and it's basically considered as gambling. That is tragic for EA. So Delilah, give me your take on this situation.
Man, I really think that I think that they want to do more than just one project. I think that's all it come down to. They probably see that Electronic Arts is focused on their own IPs, and they can only focus on a certain amount of games at once. So they're gonna go to other developers to, in order to get other IPs built. I just look at it like that, and it's simplest form. I'm not trying to dig deep and say, oh, are they gonna pull from EA? Because EA has a lot of clout. So I don't think that's the entire case. I just think that Disney wants to kind of broaden the spectrum, if you will. I do find it a coincidence that EA did cancel their Star Wars game.
With the 13, 14, the
13,
one,
13, like
13,
it's been like 2-3 games, and then if they've canceled by the Star Wars game, so that does bring up a kind of like a red flag. So I don't blame them for saying, okay, we need to go to some another developer, because EA can't get it done. Is what it kind of sound like.
Now listen to this though too, Delilah. That merger, that deal between those two started in 2013, and they've only produced 2 games.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So like I'm saying, that's what I think that they're gonna go with other developers for, just in order to, okay, EA can stick with this one game, but we're gonna branch out to other developers because EA can't get it done because they got their hands in too many baskets. They got the Madden every year. They got the the basketball every year. It's like, okay, maybe we shouldn't go with EA for the game that we want to have created. So you just, I mean, you don't really know what they're thinking. We can speculate all day long, but we don't really know. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they did go, shop around and say, okay, we want another team to make our game because EA can't get it done in the amount of time that we need. It takes a long time to make good games.
Star Wars 1313 was made by Lucas Games.
But
remember when they bought it? When they bought it, Disney killed the whole thing.
But that's what I'm saying. It didn't come out. It's a game that didn't release. So you gotta look at it like that. Like,
yeah, but Disney killed that off.
Money, but there wasn't any money made from that. That's just a loss. It's a write-off. You know what I mean? You lost money trying to get that game made. That's like, enough to piss anybody off.
Then they gave it to another studio. You got to think that they gave it to another studio with EA to do it, and then they killed it off later.
Yeah, but I love what you call it. I love Star Wars. With my man Star Killer. I want a third one. We ain't gonna get it because you don't want it.
It ain't about. I look at it differently. I don't look at it like I don't look at it like it's like Disney don't want it, because Disney, they ain't too long acquired the what was it? They just got Marvel, and so their deal with Lucas, like I don't know how old that deal is, but it's like, come on, man. I mean, to me, it just makes sense for them to be shopping around.
I'll put this way: why are we blaming everything on EA? We should blame stuff. It should get blamed on also. On Disney, because Disney got.
Nobody's not blaming it on EA. Can I say something about it?
Yeah, I was going to go to you next. But 100, finish what you were going to say, and then let me finish.
Shopping someone else. They saw that game before that game out. They saw the microtransactions. They saw everything before we even touched that game. Mm-hmm. They approved that game, so they got to eat some of this dirt too. You just can't say I'm gonna get rid of you.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Is that game? Lucasfilms and Disney do have to take some of that heat too, and there is some people going out about that. That's what I'm saying though, is that they definitely have a heavy hand in approving a lot of things.
All right, go ahead, Infamous.
Okay, it's like this. If I'm not satisfied with someone making my product, I don't care who it is. I don't care what it is. You have, as a business person, you have to venture off with other people to see what other people's going to bring to your table to make your product a better product. people say yes, Battlefront 2 did not flop, but it was not to the expectations that for Star Wars fans to feel satisfied with. So, with that being said, I'm like, they said, I mean, with the backlash with the microtransactions, Disney wasn't ready for that at all. They have in hand in improving things, especially with that game. But they were not, my personal opinion was they were not ready for that backlash with the microtransactions. So if they want to go somewhere else with the Star Wars game, they can do that. That's their shit. Now it's up to EA to either tighten up their shit to make sure that if they do get the next installment of Star Wars, that'll be it has to be damn near perfect with the next installment of that game. If not, they will go somewhere else and have another person do it. And that's just simple, basic business, man. You guys got to understand that as much as we talk about these games, it's about business, it's about money. It's a lot of money to be making these games. And we're not talking about no $10, no $20 million games. I think that Battlefront game was like over, what, 100 million?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it could have been maybe more than that. It ain't no small coin. No small coin. But okay, well, let me ask you this though, Infamous. Regardless of the fact that I think the game did decent, maybe with the sales. I don't know. I haven't been really following it. I know that I love what DICE has did with the game. The game is phenomenal, but with the microtransactions, or I should say the loot crates, for EA to bring them back, don't that hurt them with the relationship with Disney when there is so much animus going towards them about these loot crates?
Because they fucked it up in the first game, the first remastered Battlefront game. They could at least adjust a loot box / microtransactions so it could be more better for the player / consumer. But no, they put shit in there that had advantage for you in these games. Pay to win. Pay to win. So even then, was like, man, they got experience. EA got experience with the microtransaction. We'll let them ride with that. But they didn't pay attention, and that put a little dirt on the game. I know it sold a lot. I know it's a good game. People enjoyed it, but I also hear people saying that the multiplayer was a little bit better than the last one. They said that the story mode in the second game was a basic story mode game. It could have been better, especially with the Star Wars universe being so goddamn big. So basically, it's a simple, it's business 101. Business 101. It could be a game, it could be a burger, it could be a pair of shoes, it could be a pack of Swishers. It's the basic business move.
No, you're absolutely right. That makes perfect sense. I mean, you speaking facts. Okay, all right. Look at you. Look at it.
I can speak some facts sometimes.
She got a good brain. She over here. She'll cut your throat with her razor, man. I love this. Anyway, what about you, 108 Dragons? I haven't heard your thoughts on this. Do you think that EA and Disney you think that this might separate, or do you just think this is just a thing that will pass and EA will go ahead and continue to work?
Well, being that I was the first one to respond for this, I'll still stick with it.
My bad. Live wire. Hit me. Let's go. So, Live wire, what's going on, bro? What do you think about this? God damn.
Man, listen. It's what it is. And that's what I say about that.
Next topic.
Oh my goodness! Hey, all right, we about to get out of here.
Disney could buy EA.
Well, you take it forever. Like I'm over here trying to.
I'm just saying, I'm the last one. I already heard. We already heard so many different angles from it. I ain't gonna say nothing different at this point.
Okay, all right. Well, okay.
I still think that the final say is that this is to get a light under EA's ass. Is that they're gonna look at who's offering something good that they may want with their license, and get EA to be like, hey, look, we can pull it if we give them this project. Get on it.
But nobody never answered what I said to the panel. Do you want? Let's just say EA can't handle it. When will we get another game? And do you want them to? Right? Do you want them to pull it? Do you really want them to pull it from EA? Is they doing such a bad job?
Seeing as that we ain't seen
I don't think they did. I think
They ain't getting more Star Wars.
Like,
No,
it's hard to get a sample. It's only in 2 games. Like,
And I can start
Yeah,
killing
Yeah,
back.
true.
you
True.
can't really get a
True.
good sample off that.
Don't get me
Like,
wrong.
seriously,
Here, I
fantastic
played
job.
some of the story for Battlefront 2, and it was well done. It was phenomenal. Looked great.
It was
However,
good. The
The
single player was
DLC
good.
is good.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
the thing
I
is,
don't-
still, it took how many years to get that when we didn't
But
get
you
that
know
the
what?
first one around?
Okay, you know why it took so long? Because they were trying to wait on that on the movie. They were trying to make him coincide with the movie.
Yes, they
They were
was.
trying
Yeah,
to blend.
and
They were
that's
trying to blend in this with that. Because like what we saw in the movie, now we wonder how that Death Star and that sand on that planet. I ain't
Mhm.
gonna ruin it for when you play the game. You find out how to get there. It's
Yep.
just crazy that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
hey, but hey, no, it could be on going on
Player
too.
was solid, man, and the graphics is tough.
Woo, real tough, real strong.
Disney could be buying EA too, because EA is in the market to be on. So they was talking about Microsoft. People don't realize Disney got money. They could actually buy EA because they trying to get their hands
but
on
here's the thing,
everything too.
though. Disney sold off all their gaming studios. They tried doing that, but they
Right.
pulled a lot of that. They sold off all their studios. I
Yeah,
think they're
but
more
EA
they're more into the aspect of giving people that they think have influence in the industry that have the experience with it to make the products, because they tried doing it themselves and it didn't work. So
That's why you buy a major company like EA. But
Why
yeah,
would they go
y'all
buy
right,
EA?
though.
but if they do that, then they get
They
harder
killing-
scrutinized because they look at it as a monopoly.
Yeah, and that's why the Fox deal is going so far, because you got to find out the Justice Department thinking that this is a monopoly. They're going to take over a whole lot of different movie franchises and all that. That's why it hasn't went through. They're going to have to do something like how Microsoft. Remember when Microsoft got hit because they only allowed stuff on their stuff and this and that? They had to start throwing stuff on Apple, stuff on this and that. That's why they keep the Justice Department. It ain't that easy when you go buy a company and you're buying a large. You're buying a whole movie.
They're not running into as many issues as, say, like what Sinclair and a lot of other big companies were running into. Disney's definitely getting scrutinized, but they're not being. It's not as bad as some of the other big mergers that have happened before. However, if the talks are true and like Universal and other studios are trying to throw back money to make a bid on Fox, that's when it's going to get heavily scrutinized.
Well, if they do, if Fox, because I know Fox did throw their hat in the ring, but to me, I would want Disney. I know that it would be looking like as a monopoly, but I would rather see Disney do something, because what Fox has been doing with the X-Men series, I have not been pleased with here of late. And it's not because they have hit and misses, but it's just a situation where I'm kind of reserved, because I'm just like, look, Disney has been flawless with the MCU, and also don't forget that they're doing a partnership with Square Enix on
That Avengers game, bro.
Yeah, for their Avengers game, which that's probably going to be amazing. So I just don't know, and
If we're alive to play it.
Yeah, true. And
guess what we
everything that's tied in as well.
now.
What?
So they get from this. They are talking about it. They got gamers talking about it. If it's on, look.
They might show
Hey,
it
look, the way that they
this year.
keep teasing it, bro, and the way that they're showing whose talent's coming in on it, I can't help.
I'm
but talk
sorry.
about it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Jazzy's right. Disney's trying to acquire Fox. Who jumped in and is trying to Universal. Okay, that's who it is. Yeah, I knew it was somebody that was trying to come in there.
Making a bid to buy Fox out.
Yeah. They're trying to buy Fox, and I rather have
Comcast, I think too, huh?
Yeah,
I just rather have Disney take it, in my opinion. Just like I would rather have Xbox, or I should say Microsoft, to acquire EA or at least some of their properties, because I think the longer that this goes, I just think the longer that this goes, the more that we'll see less and less coming from EA, and a lot of those IPs is just going to go to waste. That's just my opinion.
Go buy EA?
Huh?
On a new vice president. You want me to buy EA?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
You want me to go buy what you want from EA? What you want? Let me.
I want Def Jam. I want
Def Jam. It ain't happening, Captain. I can't afford it.
Okay.
It ain't in the budget. It ain't in the budget.
You can bring it back. You can bring SSX though. You can bring SSX.
XXX. Yeah. You know,
Okay. How about NBA Street?
Yeah, we can do that too. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. And then also,
Can we get?
I'm gonna do a big favor, everybody. I want to make you the new Phil Spencer.
All right, cool.
You the new Phil Spencer. You the new Phil Spencer because I can't deal with that shit.
Okay, well, I need KOTOR, I need Jade Empire as well.
Yeah. We're gonna buy that straight up. We already own that one.
Just go ahead and acquire Dragon Age because I mean
let's just buy BioWare. Let's just take everything.
Yeah, everything for BioWare because Xbox needs to just go ahead.
That's what I did. No, that's what I'm thinking that may went down.
Yeah. Look, if they can get BioWare and get BioWare, like that would be better.
All right, well, let's get off of the hypotheticals. Let's get to the business. Let's get to the business, man, because we are going left. All right, let's get to it. The next topic, which is Shadow of the Colossus. Let's give some love to our PlayStation brethren out there. Stop it! Don't be messy. Come on, people.
Damn, Delilah Fiber.
Come on, Delilah Fiber. Don't do that now. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Since she got that fiber, she be.
I'm not even going to go to her first. I'm going to go
to
Infamous. I'm going to Infamous first.
I ain't got nothing to do with it. Please skip me too. So
I'm not going to skip you. Listen, sister, man. We are all gamers here. We have to all show support to every platform.
Hey, I say this.
You ain't played the PlayStation 2 version?
Yes, of course I did.
Okay, then.
I don't want to play it.
Okay, let's get to it.
Tell Delilah to go first. Tell Delilah to go first.
Let me ask the question. I'm going to go to Infamous first. Okay, so all right, Infamous. Check this out. All right, Shadow of the Colossus, it beats. We're talking about sales numbers too. Oh my goodness. Shadow of the Colossus beats the PS2 version, and it was #1 in Europe. And I was just wondering, are you going to get this game? Are you interested in this game? And what do you got to say to the PlayStation Nation about Shadow of the Colossus?
Man, let me tell you something, man. I had got a free $60 gift card for PlayStation, and I bought Monster Hunter World. So that lets you know, I'm not getting. I mean, I respect the fact that Shadow Colossus is like one of the PlayStation bangers from back in the day. And I know it did well because of the nostalgic aspect of the game. So I'll give kudos to the people that are enjoying the game. Personally, me, I didn't touch it. I ain't touching it. I mean, I know someone, I had someone that bought the game. It was like, it's just the same thing as PlayStation 2 version. It's just better graphics. I'm like, okay. And I looked at the gameplay. I was like, you know what? Let me see what this game's about. So I looked at somebody play the game, and I fell asleep. So I already knew it was not the game.
Come on, don't be messy. No.
Empty World was just, I mean, okay.
Like it's a Telltale game.
Wasn't good the first time. Won't y'all just say it? Damn.
But I haven't played it though. So if I'm gonna watch,
PlayStation 2 version. I have not played this way. It looks beautiful.
It looks good, but it ain't got no meat on it though. Ain't got no meat on the bones. What I'm gonna do with a game that ain't got no meat on the bones?
I'd rather play Attack on the Titan. Come on, man. That game is corny, man. Stop.
Okay.
No, hang on. The game was, hang on. Let's put it this way. The game at the time on when it was released was a unique concept and was well done for its time. However, for its time. And the remaster does one thing. It makes that game look years beyond what it looked like before. And it's great that people may get a second chance to see that game or play it that may not have given it the love the first time around. Hang on. Before y'all start throwing fire around, like I said, this is a great chance for people who didn't get to play it. However, I don't think that they need to remake the same game 3 to 4 times already because we've seen a remaster of that game multiple times. Mm-hmm. Am I glad that it's still good? Yeah, it was it was done on the PS2. Hang on. Okay. Yeah, it was made on the PS2. Got a remaster at the end of the PS2 era. Then came out on the PS3, and now we're seeing it on the PS4.
Mm-hmm. Hell no!
I just want to say this.
And they're charging it full. He preaching going
full price.
Hey, I think it's 40.
When you
40? That game should be 30. That's what it is.
That game should be 20.
Should be 20.
First of all, let's get back to the nostalgia thing. If you back in the days when they made wooden wheelchairs, they was the shit.
Wow.
Until they made electric ones. You want a wooden wheelchair right now? You really need a wooden wheelchair right now. That game wasn't good. It was okay. It was iconic for the era. But let's just be real here. That game is boring as shit. People thought Horizon Zero Dawn was boring. What do you think that game is?
Oh my goodness! Come on, man.
Here's my thing.
Instead of red boxing it, go buy it.
Here's the thing about it. It's like I said, it's great for people who haven't played it to get to experience what was the big deal about it before. However, again, the fact that it's been remastered so many times is the big issue. If they had backwards compatibility or anything like that, there wouldn't be an issue because they could go back and play that anytime. There's people who probably do that on PS2 emulators on PC anyways. They don't care. They don't. And that's the bottom line of it. The big thing about it is the fact that people are lauding this as the greatest remake ever. And it's showing that it still has the same score that it got before. However, when another game like the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which was a remake with the PC exclusive content from the 360 and gets remade for the Xbox One, that gets a lower rating than the original. Like, where is that line? That's the big issue. I'm glad that it got remade and that whoever is putting in the effort to do it, great on them. However, again, it's been remade multiple times. That's the big issue about it.
But can I ask Killer Cake Mega
a question after 100?
Can I ask Killer Cake Mega this question?
What's up?
Remember when we got the Halo Master Chief Collection? We was excited. We got Halo Wars.
Oh yeah,
Halo, and we start getting all these back. And they said it. Why y'all like to play old games? Ain't this motherfucker old game?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what I'm saying? A big shout out to our boy Mooch, because nostalgia is a hell of a drug. But I asked the PlayStation community this same question, and of course, the only thing that I got back that I was, an ex-slave. But I was just kind of like, look, I'm excited for Marlo Briggs, and now I get called Marlo Mega. That's cool. But you know what I'm saying? I don't mind playing. I'm just saying. I'm like, look, old. What's up, man? I'm just saying, old games is cool. So
listen, but this is coming from the platform that made fun of backwards compatibility and said nobody wants to do it, and they keep charging you for it.
I agree. I agree.
See, exactly.
To this thing to it makes me come platinum. I don't care.
Okay, so the question I got for the panel, for the whole panel is this, and y'all can just interject. I don't care. What other games that any of these platforms should do to make remakes? Because we see Shadow of the Colossus, it looks great, and I think that it's warranted to have the remake that it has because it looks amazing. It looks almost like a new title because of how well they did.
The thing is that if they do
but one other game should do that, because I mean,
a game that
there's other games out there.
A game that nobody talk about that looks amazing, that destroys the original, and that's the Wipeout collection.
Oh, it's great. I just beat the first version of that.
I bought that. And they added all the tracks in together.
Yes.
This is the exact same game that they're trying to make money off again. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that good in the beginning. It's boring.
All right. I'm just saying. Big shout out to Antonio Taylor. He said he just beat Marlo Briggs. Hey man, say it in the chat what you thought about Marlo Briggs, because we want to know. Marlo Briggs is that fire.
That remix stuff. I remember what was that Hades, like you used to say.
Yeah, but I give Sony this credit. At least this shit was like a true remaster. You know what I'm saying? Like even though the mechanics are still the same, they put the different coat on it. You know
it looks beautiful.
It looks good. It's not it's not like the Last of Us remasters times 10, and you just did some bullshit.
I mean, but I prefer them to reboot it than remaster. To me, a remaster is like I've been there, did they? If you reboot a game, that'll draw me back into it. Because if I beat it, I don't play it no more.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of it does look better, but because they didn't fix the control.
I mean, but better though.
Like remember when you seen that there was like a chick back in the day in high school, and you called her like Dragon Breath Becky. You know what I mean? She had the pimples and the acne and all that shit, and the breath smelled like dog shit.
And she grew up to go be 200 pounds.
But you see her, and you be like, damn, she look bad as hell. And you go over there to talk to her, and be like, damn, her breath still smell like a fucking dragon though. God damn. That's kind of like how
he lied. I'm so mad at you, bro.
He lied.
I am so mad at you, live.
But man, you gotta think about it, like you said, them old games. It's cool, okay. If I look at the old games for a person that say you got a hell of a backlog, you still trying to play some of these games. More than if I beat this game, I'm through with this game. I'm going on to the next game. So I'm not too keen in these remasters and these remakes. You me a reimagination. You know, just draw me a reimagination, so I can get a different story, a different outlook, show it from a different angle or something. Give me something different. That same old, if it's gonna be the same
controls
thing.
thing. No, go ahead, Chuck. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, just the same old. Just like backwards compatibility. Just game I ain't play. I'll play it, but I ain't finna just go buy no whole brand new game because it's the same game.
You want to give me something compatible? Give me some Blood in the Sand, 50 Cent. That's
yeah, but hey, I just thought about this. You know, I got my old Arsenio Hall on things that make you say, What about we do get a reboot of a game, but you do something like Star Trek or something, change the timeline to do something different that we never did before?
Did this joker say Star Trek, man? No,
I don't know. Where did he come up with this?
No, okay. Put this way, we get a Fable reboot, right? Okay, no, a Fable reboot, right?
We already getting that.
We're already getting a Fable reboot.
No, but I'm talking about start off as like, okay, I'm playing Fable Anniversary. That's why I'm thinking about Fable right now. I'm playing Fable Anniversary.
We're getting a new Fable though, 100.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what if they change something that we didn't see before in the other Fable, in the first Fable?
Coming at it like a reboot from a different angle.
Yeah, like it changed some of the timeline. Like it wasn't no possibility. You had to make it go dark until you can make it go light. Do something that was like how they, like I say, how they rebooted Star Trek. You know what I'm saying? How they did Star Trek? They messed the timeline up.
So, okay, we're going left here. Let's get on topic.
You ain't getting.
I'm not following this one. I
get what he's saying. He said it's pretty much a reimagination just because you come from the future to the past and they change the timeline. I get that. Change a different story.
Just like Kingdom of, okay, what is it? Kingdom of Deliverance, this latest game that just came out. Yeah. They say that it's kind of like a strong adult version of Fable because of how people will interact with you and things of that nature. And like it's really technical. So there's a lot of people that think it's boring because it's just too technical, but it uses Fable. What Fable has is implemented in their older games. Yeah, well, not more than the humor, but still, I get kind of where 100 was going. But of course, I'm not trying to get in that rabbit hole to where we talking about something completely different. We're gonna stay on focus. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stay on focus. So let's get on to the next topic. Let's get on to the next topic.
That's why I use my brain on Friday.
Yeah. Anyway, so we gonna go to the next topic. In this topic, we're gonna pass it over to my boy Triple Cup Chuck. Because this was
Oh man, hey,
what's up, bro?
Hey, for you, give me a super fire introduction. Mm-hmm. You know, when I'm so politically incorrect that I know if I say it, I know I'm gonna say it the wrong way, and it's gonna offend everybody.
No. This is all you. No. This is all you. You know what I'm saying? Because look, and that's why I'm doing the disclaimer because I don't want people to take it the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? I really don't, and I think that it's legitimate question to ask because in the light of what we've seen now with the show with the movie Black Panther and this big budget African American film, or with an African film, it's a film with it's prominently black. It's never been done before, and I also love the fact that they also talk about people are starting to bring up Blade again because a lot of people act like Blade never existed, but there's not been a movie.
He's breaking Star Wars numbers. That's all they need.
Well, the one thing that I'm trying to bring up with this point is that with what we're seeing with Black Panther, it's never been done before, especially with a movie with this type of budget. And so Triple Cup Chuck brought up a question in our party, and it made us all say, "Wow!" So I'm giving it to you now, and I hope people don't take this the wrong way, even though there'll be some. But go ahead and ask the panel. Go ahead, bro.
Well, anyway, if they take this the wrong way, that's on their booty.
Right.
This is the whole thing. I was genuinely just curious because I was trying to find a black character. So like I said, Black Panther. Then you got Black Lightning on TV. Now then you got AKA Save Lock. You got Lock, and then you got a whole bunch of Crackdown. Now that when I went to Sony, and I was trying to find me a black character, and then I got stomped. I was like, I can't find nothing, and then I couldn't think of nothing. We went back, so I said, well, I went and asked a couple people. I said, what black main character do they have on a video game for the PlayStation? Nobody could come up with an answer. Then we was talking about the whole situation with the the leaks that came out of Sony and how they didn't want Denzel to be the lead role because he was black, and how they was talking highly prejudiced, and they came back to the game like, now PlayStation, they never come out with no main black characters, and it's kind of like, well, what do y'all think about this here? And is I'm thinking too deep into it, or y'all kind of feel the same way?
Okay, so go ahead. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna take over now. So I'm gonna go to, of course, to the ladies because they're the most sensible. 100 will be last, and 100 and Live Wire will be last. But I'm gonna go to you, Delilah. On Triple Cup's question, what do you think about that? I mean, do you know any character?
I mean, honestly, no, I don't. But I mean, some people make the argument that Kratos is black.
He ain't.
He is black or whatever.
He ain't.
He's Greek. He's Greek. He's Spartan.
We all thought he was black. He ain't.
He's Greek. Okay, I get it. But yeah, I mean, it does because I guess if you can look at, if you're trying to think about the big three, what you got Microsoft with what Augustus Cole. And who else?
You also got Dell, the new one.
You got Locke, baby. Hashtag save Locke. You got Marlo Bridge.
Crackdown.
Yeah.
You got me.
You got what's due for Killer Instinct? What's his name?
TJ
Combo.
You mean Tyson? Oh,
Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson.
They both Tyson. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they technically got Balrog with Street Fighter 5 for the PlayStation, but I mean,
and then look how he look. Look how Birdie and Balrog look.
We're talking first party.
Okay, we're talking about first party. Yeah.
Yeah. First party. Now they ain't got nothing.
Jago was what you call it. Jago and my girl.
They mixed, dude. But look,
they not for Sony.
I mixed myself. I'm still black.
Oh, okay. You last 100. Be quiet.
Stop it.
Sony.
I'm on my. I'm supposed to be doing right.
Yeah,
Like, whatever. I think it's interesting. I mean, I didn't even until Triple Cut posted the question. It never crossed my mind. It's not something I thought about. Because I don't think like that. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, well, what black characters is on this console? I just don't think like that, right? So, when he mentioned it, I was like, I just kind of made me think a little bit. I don't know. It just make you kind of shrug and try to figure out why, but it is what it is at this point. I mean, there's nothing we can personally do about it. But if you guys find one, let me know.
Right, yeah.
Jackson, because that's not a first party either.
Yeah, those people
strictly first party. Something
that Sony bringing to the table.
Yeah. What first party title has a black or a black main protagonist? Black main character.
I may have a hypothesis on that though.
Let's go. Let's hear it.
The thing about it is, Sony is a Japanese company. You know what I mean? And within, I don't want to put race into this, but in the Japanese culture, I mean, they don't really fuck with black dudes or black people. They just feel a certain way about African Americans or people of color. They'll be polite, they'll be modest with them, but I did see a lot of videos on YouTube about African Americans visiting the country of Japan and having their own individual issues, more issues than you would say an American or a European person going there. I don't think like I said again earlier today, it might be just another business move. They don't want to bank no games with a person of color as their main character, because their main focus with PlayStation in Japan is JRPGs and a lot of anime heavy type games. So
and I can kind of vouch for that one. I can vouch for that because
hold on, Knuckles. Let her finish. Let her finish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then I'll go to you.
Sorry.
Triple Cup did. Like Delilah said, I've never thought about it that way until Triple Cup asked that question. But like I said, it's from a business standpoint. If you're around a culture that they don't even really, they don't really mess with African Americans like that or people of color, and especially with a company that has a console that caters more to Dance Dance Revolution, JRPGs, RPGs, role playing, MMOs. They're not gonna put that on the main front just from a business standpoint. I may be wrong, but that's just my opinion. They might have like customize like a customization part of the games that you can be able to change your characters, but slapping it on the front of their game, that's a first party game. I'm shocked, to be honest with you. But because if other companies like, hey, Microsoft did it, you know what I mean? So I'm surprised that they haven't. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. All right. What about you? Okay, now go ahead, Knuckles. What was you gonna say about this? I mean, I think that's a great question.
Yeah, it is a great question, and before I started going off on my little tangent, is that lady's right, is that it's a cultural thing, because of the fact that over there they find white people very enticing and beautiful, especially like blonde hairs. They find them very interesting because of the fact that they're unique in their culture. Even in anime, when they write about foreign characters that are coming from America and stuff, they always are white skinned, they're blonde haired and stuff like that. They find that culture and those kinds of people interesting, and they have this kind of stigma, and not necessarily against blacks and Africans, but they do have a kind of stigma for dark-skinned people, because there was a cultural swing of a lifestyle out there called Gengaro, and they were basically really tanned people, and this was Japanese people, because they were trying to go real dark tan skin, bright colors and stuff like that, and they had this really bad place over there because of how they were looked and how they were around the traditional Japanese. So it's a very cultural thing.
Breaking up a little bit.
Am I bad?
No, he's fine. Keep going.
Keep going.
Oh, but like I said, it is a very cultural thing in that aspect. And when we talk about JRPGs, we got to think about that. We only call them JRPGs here in the West. That's just an RPG to them over there. The JRPG style, turn-based and whatever, that's just a turn-based RPG over there, just like how we have our own over here. We call them JRPGs just because they have that Japanese influence and style on certain things. They're still just regular RPGs to them. The fact that we put a label like Japanese RPG is what also kind of causes that bridge, is because of the fact that we had turn-based RPGs well ahead of time. Look at the old Elder Scrolls games back on the PC. Those were turn-based. And a lot of the bigger things before we started expanding into things. We had Fallout back on the PC, which were turn-based and open isometric turn-based RPGs before they became full open world and Fallout 3. So we have to really kind of help to kind of look at that aspect on why Africans and blacks aren't as prevalent in those style of games, as well as just the kind of culture on where it's originating from. Okay,
all right, cool. What about you, Livewire? You wanted to interject?
Yeah, I was saying Sony's a movie company, and the whole
movie company,
black. I mean, because you gotta remember, the reason why Black Panther's so big right now is because there was a stigma that black, actors can't sell a movie overseas. Like they didn't have a problem with making black movies in the States. Their issue was always, can it sell overseas? Will it have the same appeal overseas? So for Sony to not have black characters in a game, it makes sense. They don't have them in their movies. So I'm just saying, like, it's not really.
Well, no, they got they got Cookie from what was that show where they singing?
That's a Sony movie.
What was it? Proud Mary or whatever she got on? Yeah, that's a Sony movie.
Yeah, but they're not trying to market that overseas like that. Where they marketing it?
Mary's Life.
Yeah, when they're making a game, if they're gonna make a big game, this game is supposed to cost a lot of money, and they're trying to market. They're not just marketing in the States. They can try that, but where they try to market it everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. Where Xbox is already known as mainly the UK and the States and freaking maybe Australia and South America, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely in South America and Brazil.
Yeah, so it's easier to have a black character as a lead for that. Not to say that they don't still kind of deal with some of the same ideas as like, oh, I don't know if it'll sell, but it's just that they're just a little bit more willing to do it because they don't really have to worry about them having it's not like they don't have a huge foothold in areas where they feel having a black character would really diminish the sales of their product. You feel me? I think that's why you don't see the hesitation, especially like
man, that sounds like just a fire ass excuse.
I mean,
that ain't.
I'm not saying that they couldn't have chose to do something different. I'm just saying that's the excuse that they've been using for years. They've been saying that shit for years. I mean,
but look with the Xbox, they get on us. Oh, y'all don't play JRPGs. Like that's like it's some type of prejudice that we have against them. But they don't even have no main character that's black at all. They really don't acknowledge it at all. I mean, don't think just because it's overseas, they don't acknowledge it. Just think about it in that perspective as well.
Yeah, but you know what it reminds me of? Like, this is how I look at JRPGs, bro. I look at it like Sesame Street. I know some people be like, Sesame Street, why the fuck do you look at it? Because it's like some shit that I was cool with when I was a kid, but I don't like that shit no more. Like, you're not gonna see me playing with Big Bird and Grover and shit like that right now. I don't give a fuck about that shit, But some people still want to live and enjoy things of that nature from that past, and in that it's nostalgic nature. I mean, people always forget. Oh, we got turn-based RPGs. Well, we had turn-based RPGs because there's no fucking other option at the time. They couldn't do action. It was too hard. But now when we got the option to do it, then it was able to change. But I'm not saying that you can't kind of still people can't still enjoy.
What they got to do with them making a black guy?
I think that you're going off the topic though.
Like I said, with the black character, it's all about just their ideals were to feel like they didn't think it would sell. That's what.
No. That part I agree with, but then
that ain't 100%.
Yeah, but that's not like look. It just comes. It just comes down to it to where if you look at it from black characters, that's on each platform. Xbox has the most. I mean, if you want to talk about Sergeant Johnson, you want to talk about Crackdown, you want to talk about Locke. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he ain't no.
Hey, if you really want to look at it too, look, there was some in Fable because you had the best friend and her older brother in the first Fable game.
Well, but Fable, we're talking about main characters though. So I'm just saying, and Sergeant Locke had a huge. I mean, sorry, he
was the main.
Locke was main, but I'm talking about but Sergeant Johnson was a huge factor. A part of what was going on with in the Halo universe. Also, you got to look at like you know what I'm saying? Did Left 4 Dead did that ever go to PlayStation?
No, Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead had black protagonists. Had black protagonists as well too. Like I said,
Lewis and
get back on your computer.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just like one of them things like. I mean, you could go through Japanese games on third party, but you can't see so much on PlayStation's first party or Nintendo for that matter to where they have strong black protagonists. I mean, hell, Xbox even has Prey, which is what like there's really not too many Native American representation. Look, I'm black and Native American, so I'm
and the new Prey was Asian. But yeah,
so, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking, I'm searching, and the one thing about it is that look, it's not about race because look, you know what I'm saying? It's not me trying to point out the point and say like, look, that Sony's racist or Nintendo's racist. I get the fact that they're a Japanese company that cater to the white audience more. That's already been established. That's why they have. Their characters have that white look because in the 80s and 90s, they were trying to appeal to get the crossover, which is nothing wrong with that. They're trying to make money. The fact of it is that as gamers, all of us, we have played as white men, Japanese men, white women, you know what I'm saying? Every aliens, creatures, you know what I'm saying? But we don't, you know what I'm saying? So when I sit there and I say something about
Dom was Hispanic too.
Black.
From
I'm
years.
like, that's a part of it, but it's the fact that I'm excited about that, and you should be excited about it too. But I don't know. But anyway, 108 Dragons, what do you think about this situation?
Well, I really don't think about stuff like that because I don't think that race stuff should be in gaming, man. We have enough problems with everything else in the world. They just come from a different market and a different way of thinking. I've been to Japan on a rap tour, and they was pretty nice to me. You know, they used to say some crazy stuff, but they thought, you know, the way we talk in our rap music, they think we talk to our people every day, but they was all right to me. I mean,
hey, but look at their actions.
I just don't. It's a business aspect, but I can understand where they're coming from. But they don't have that mentality. Everybody's not as versatile as the West. Y'all giving them too much credit. They're not versatile like that. They still stuck on. You know, they still can't get the damn internet properly done in gaming. They just, you know, look how they did Monster Hunting, and you know, and
they traditional, bro.
Right, they are different.
Why should we show them support?
Hold on. Just because they're different don't mean they don't like us. I told you I've been to the country and they was treating me fine, man. I've been in the United States and got treated worse than I did in Japan. It just is what it is. I don't think racism and that
it's not it's the acknowledgement.
Right. It's that too. It still has something to do with racism. When you boil down to it, that's what we're talking about.
You weren't there long enough. That's all I'm saying.
I was there a week. But what I'm saying is, that stuff don't belong in gaming, man. I don't think of it like that.
But gaming should have a whole. Okay, but hold on.
Mindset though.
But let me just make this point though. I'm sorry, Live, but let me just make this point. 108. Listen. I get that. Look, we've all played. Look, I just beat the Witcher. That game has no people of color in that game. I love that game. That's my favorite game of this generation. I don't give a damn about the color aspect of that because I'm used to it. But what I don't like is when I love Locke. I love that strong black man because I'm a black man. And I hear from black men, he's trash. He's stupid. He don't talk. Chief don't talk, bitch. He don't say nothing. And that's the thing that pissed me off the most is that, Moral Omega, that game's whack. Really? But yet you want to tout every other game that looks so much different than us? Really?
Knack, though.
Yeah. But they'll play Knack.
But a good game is a good game, and a bad game.
No. A good game is a good game. Look. That's what I'm saying. I've been playing great games, and it doesn't matter about the color of the protagonist. But the fact of it is that when you do have a good game, regardless of how people think about the Halo 5 story, that's debatable. I'm not here to say what's good, but that
Halo 5 was a great game.
Yeah, I loved Halo 5, and at least for the multiplayer is the best that Halo's ever been.
Facts.
The fact of it is that why would you downgrade that, but then come at me and call me a slave to Xbox when they have given more diversity than any other of these other platforms? That's all I'm saying. And that's nothing to take away from PlayStation because I am a huge fan.
Usually these places are like product of their environment, so they cater to their environment. They don't see that around there.
I mean,
maybe in the United States it's a melting pot. You see all races, so that's why the games have that same amount of diversity. To me, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They got white people in their game, so I mean, I doubt if they see that many white folks as well. So they doing that. I mean, it's like if you really, it's not about being racist because it don't really belong in gaming. But at the same time, you're not supposed to be dumb or stupid, blind to the fact. Because you know why say they not being racist, and you know it's an issue. So you do acknowledge it when it's there, but you don't dwell on it and push on it. But like as in what I was saying, when you look at them, it's like they not acknowledging us at all because they feel like they not gonna sell. You never even took the chance to even try to see will it sell.
Yeah, we're side pieces.
I think the Black Panther movie is proving a real point right now.
Exactly.
If it's something that's really marketed properly, and
done right, yeah.
and done right, that people will show up and show out.
No matter what color it is, right?
And what Black Panther does also, ladies and gentlemen, is that it shows that Black people can be more than just in the streets or always having a corny ass love story, or you know what I'm saying,
or the drama,
or having drama and being like the Atlanta Housewives.
Right.
It can actually show what we are, and you know what I'm saying. No, I'm just being honest.
It's like them Tyler Perry.
But Megan, you're right. Megan, what people did like that they never said they wanted. Remember when they had San Andreas, right? That came to us like, damn, you know, especially me. I live in LA, like, oh, I'm on San Andreas. I'm shooting folks. You know what I'm saying? But why it has to be something like that? Why we can't have a like? I love Black Lightning. I wish it was on another network though, because it can be more raw. But what's wrong with diversity? Nothing wrong with diversity.
Nothing wrong with
all
that.
colors of the rainbow.
And that's the thing about it. That I loved about what Chuck asked, because that's the question that we're asked. This is a diverse panel. I mean, this panel is more ethnic, but the fact of it is that we're diverse in our criteria of how we play games. We all play games, and we've been playing games for a long time, and we've been very, very cool about playing other people. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that. So when people bitch about characters that don't pertain to them or whatever, and then the next thing, why would you say? Why? This is the thing, and I'm going to get off of this, and we're going to wrap it up. I got two more topics, and then we'll wrap it up. But this is the thing that bothers me more than anything, especially about the lock thing, is that they'll say that they hate lock. That's fine. That's your opinion. I look, it's all opinionated, right? But don't come to me at one moment and tell me that you cannot stand lock, but I love Buck. You shouldn't like any of Team Osiris. You should only love Master Chief and the Blue Team. That's it. Don't tell me.
But Mega,
why?
They didn't like Buck at first. Hang on, but they didn't like Buck at first.
Some of them didn't, but other people loved it. But that's the thing that bothers me. Like, what do you?
They was hell.
Everybody.
But people didn't like the Arbiter at first either.
They didn't like the Arbiter.
No, they didn't love Arbiter. I love Arbiter.
I remember when Halo 2 came out, people was big. Man, people was bitching.
Well,
anyway, that game was long as hell, and people was bitching. Why I gotta play as somebody else other than Chief? I was like,
come on, but then they love him now.
Either way, Arbiter. I don't know. It's, you know, people just, some people are just like, oh, you know, they just want things.
I feel like Halo 5 isn't going to be appreciated until like 6-7 years from now.
And you're right. And look. I think how 343 should have did this.
So tight, man.
Yeah, I think
it's going to be a transition game. Like it'll be the transition from 4 to 6.
Well, yeah, true. And one thing that I would love is if they did some kind of really crazy twist to where like. And I think people would maybe accept Locke better if, like, he was the son of Johnson or something, like, but he just has a different last name. That I think maybe Locke would get his respect due. I don't know. Anyway, but that's a whole other story. Let's get on. We got 2 more questions because Infamous is going to cut my throat if I keep it going too long. Let's get on to it. Google is coming with. They announced that they're coming with a console, and the console is codenamed Yeti right now. I don't know if that's the actual name, but they have but it's going to be they got a console, and it's going to be a streaming service enhanced with it. So it's basically going to have the cloud and all of this stuff implemented to what people said that they don't like at one particular time. So I'm asking the panel, is everybody on board to want to try out what Google's going to give, or is this dead in the water already?
They got to step
last week. We talked about this last week.
I talked about it last week, but the ladies didn't say anything about it.
Not the ladies. We just talked about it.
And there was nothing.
I didn't say my piece on it.
And there was, and Knuckles did say nothing. And nothing was confirmed. It was just rumor. They confirmed it. They announced it today.
It is official now.
Yeah, but it's not a.
Like you know what? This should show everybody that console is still extremely important. If you got somebody like Google that's trying to, pretty much put their toes in the water, like, yo, we got to get a console out here, because these jokers, regardless of what platform you prefer, whether it's Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, whatever. These jokers are still selling in the millions. Like, I mean, come on. So that lets you know that is super strong. I can't stand the whole, PC and console debate, because console is still very, very prevalent in these gaming streets.
Facts.
Facts.
And put it this way, Google has failed on a whole lot of shit too. So
they got mad money to fail.
I love me some Google. Trust me, I Google everything.
So, are you interested in the Google console?
No, I'm. You know what? If it's a Google console, like I said last week, I think it's going to be like
there is no if. It is. It's coming.
I think it's going to be like their apps. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be cheaper than anything else. It's going to probably be like the new NVIDIA Shield. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to download the app as long as you got a good internet connection. They do good on their apps right now. The instant apps, they do real good on their phones. So they can transfer that over. And then I think it's going to be cell phone quality games. It's not going to be
no. It's going to be hardcore games. The thing of it is that from my understanding is what people have been asking is, are you going to try to get any first party games? Because that's the thing that's going to sell the console. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, they got triple party games on it now, and it looks good on the phone.
But this lumberyard tech that they're working on, this thing is going to be top notch from what I've read in this article.
Google Glasses was top notch too, and where it's at in the trash.
Okay, they're doing a console, bro. I don't know if it's going to be great or not, but Google got a lot of money to spend today. So
here's the thing, though. You got to think about this, okay? It's great that Google is trying to put into it because it shows that the gaming space has gotten enough attention from everyone that a giant like Google's trying to get on it. However, the market's already saturated with 3 consoles, all right? And that's already enough for most people. If we start adding more like we did back in the 90s, you're going to see consoles dropping out real quick. Look at what happened with Sega, and look at what happened with Atari and a couple other consoles that try to get into it.
For a long time, young buck.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Even with the money that Google has, it's going to oversaturate the market more so. And especially with the streaming service, we already see how that works for PSN now. That causes an issue because of the fact that it's going to require constant internet connection more so than if you download it. Because one, you have to take into account of your speed to stream the game. Then you're going to have to worry about latency on the device, as well as the fact of the console itself. If anything happens to that,
worrying about all that. Not with Google. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look, it is going to be like PlayStation now, but Google has already been. They already know what they're doing with their tech, and they have the financial backing to push anything that they want to. The only thing I think Google needs is some kind of first party titles to get them out the gate. They're not jumping into the console market to just say, look, we're going to make another Ouya. They know
they want that living room space. They want
that living room space. It's just like Delilah said, console where everybody thought the consoles was dead at the beginning of this generation. It just shows that the consoles is thriving. That's why the Steam machines, they wanted to get into this space, and it didn't work for them because they didn't have enough. They didn't know what the hell that they were doing. You know what I'm saying? I think Google is done their homework, and especially if there's other rumors that Apple is wanting to get involved in this as well. If these big honchos is going to come, yeah, it can saturate the market, but it also can benefit gamers because shit will be cheaper. And if you give any type of indication that you can bring some third-party games at a cheaper rate, and Google will try to do that, sky's the limit, Jack.
Right. You know, next generation, the big 3 might be Apple, Google, and Microsoft. You know what I mean? You never know how the generation might change because, back in the days, it was always Nintendo and Sega. Mm-hmm. You ain't never think about no PlayStation. Now look where we at, PlayStation and Xbox. So who knows what the future might hold. Like one of the big companies might drop out, like PlayStation. They and Sony is down there on their last leg anyway, so they might not make it to the next generation, or if they do, they might fall off in the next generation, and they leave the space for like Apple.
They're doing too well with their PlayStation 4.
I mean, ultimately the whole thing. I mean, PlayStation the whole thing Sony. So if Sony completely collapses, PlayStation gone. That's what I was saying. So that's always a possibility.
Like they turn the signal on, yo.
Yeah, I know. That's what's called. Man, we about to wrap it up though. I did want to talk one subject though, and then we got to get out of here. There was a couple of things I wanted to bring up. I know. I'm sorry, Infamous. I know Call of Duty. We'll implement that.
We'll do that next week. We'll do that next week.
I do want to bring up one more thing, and then we're going to get out of here. And that was there was a publisher banned from Steam for attempting to fix review scores. And I'll talk about the FCC thing too next week as well. But Intel Games has been banned, and the CEO was forced employers to leave positive reviews on their games for this actual game called Wild Buster Heroes of the Titan. And the only reason how this got out, or it was leaked by a person that worked for the company, and they leaked it out on Reddit, and Reddit exposed it, and then somebody from Steam sit there and went after them and banned them because they was over here trying to get good views. So the question I'm asking for the panel, just go ahead and jump in. Do you trust reviews these days? I mean, people in the chat, go ahead and let me know. Do y'all trust reviews? I mean, this right here just proves that it's bullshit, in my opinion. But what do you think?
I mean, hey, you gotta think about the reviews is bullshit, but they saying about buying them off and making the employees do it. I mean, just think about it. They say with Microsoft, when they get up there and they promote Nintendo, everybody be like, "What the hell is Microsoft doing? They supposed to be promoting Xbox, nothing but Xbox." I mean, so if you work any company that you with, you don't think they feel like, hey, you supposed to be promoting and liking our shit? Is nobody else stuff? You supposed to be giving good reviews because you know in a company you can't sit there and talk bad about anything that you with. So I'm guessing that's a possibility, but that probably go on everywhere you go, in EA, Activision. So any company, they might kind of stack the books a little bit, but that don't have that big of an impact to actually change it. But you can't really go with the reviews because it's everybody got like an agenda these days, and it's always something about with clickbait and this and that. So that's what's really killing it when it's too much of that's going on. Well, you can't really go by the judgment of that. Like it's too many people sold out. You got to go by your favorite review that's local that do it because they love doing it. They love games. That to me, that's the truth right there. So all this big stuff that they doing, and with these companies trying to stack the books, it don't really matter because at the end of the day, it's all about what you like. And you know what I'm saying, learning what you like from the people that you like. They got similar interests and similar likes. So like people like this on this panel, if they showing the game that they like and you like the type of games that they like, that's who you trust and believe in more than the all these other things, these big sites that's doing it. Just go for something that you know personally.
Yeah,
that's
what it is.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, Chuck. Anybody else want to say anything about this?
I will. Like, there's been a few companies that have been caught doing that, where either they'll suppress people that are talking negative. Reviews kind of overdo that.
You breaking up.
Oh,
yeah. We're gonna have to wrap you up.
Is it that bad? Is it bad?
Because we didn't hear like half of the things that you said. You started off. Yeah, you out in the tunnel. So anyway, all right.
He on the news stage, the weatherman.
Yeah, he the weatherman. You the weatherman. Oh, you GRG's weatherman. Okay.
Shit.
What's going on, man? What's going on? How's that hurricane going?
Well, you know, it's windy. 5 miles an hour right now.
He sounds just like one guy.
It's running sideways.
We going to our Buckles out there in where are you at? What part of Texas?
I'm kicking it right from SA, bro.
Okay. All right. Well,
downtown San Antonio.
All right, underlay. Get on out of here. Anyway, we about to wrap this up. Thanks for everybody that's rocking out with us. I know a lot of people went to probably go see Black Panther. Well, you know, of course, it's Friday night and everybody want to keep it and everything. But thank you guys for rocking out with us. We better do our sign outs. I hope people didn't really get offended about Chuck's question because I thought it was very valid. It warranted, and I think that people should start asking that question, especially when, as gamers, we want to play as everybody. I don't want to just play as just, you know, I don't want every game to be a black or Indian game. I want every game to be something different.
It's throw a little Bruce Lee in there every now and then.
Yeah, I'm saying. I mean, I've been playing as something else different for so many years. I mean, shit. It's, you know, you would think that you would want more diversity. But anyway, Lady Infamous, I know you got to go ahead and do your thing. Go ahead and give your shout outs. Where can they find you at? Where are you going to be streaming at tonight?
I'm going to be streaming on Twitch tonight. I want to thank the panel for, doing what they always do, bringing greatness. I want to thank the chat I want to thank the donators. Tonight, you're going to catch me at Lady Infamous 415 over here on YouTube. We are like 98 away from 1,000 subscribers.
Nice.
We have Grown Women Gaming Night. Tonight, I don't know what we're going to play. We're going to play something. And tomorrow, we're going to start off our new time with Grown Women Gaming Podcast at 9 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern Time, noon p.m. Eastern Time. And, you know, you guys have a wonderful evening.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And go ahead and support it. Everybody that's watching us and everybody that will be watching us later, because that's the one cool thing about this show. You know what I'm saying? It trips me out because people will watch it weeks later. They'll watch us until, like, look, I'll look at some podcast, some of our podcasts that we'll have, and I'll look at the views and things, and I'm looking, and the next thing I'll come back maybe a month later, I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? It's because people get gravitated and they want to listen and they watch, and that's really good because of the fact that of the people that's on this panel. And so go and support Lady Infamous, get her to 1,000 because she works hard. She busts her ass, and you know what? I just don't want her to come at me and cut me when I meet her in E3 this year because I just don't want no trouble. Anyway, so Delilah HD or I'm sorry, Delilah Fiber.
UHD, you know what I'm saying? Delilah
UHD. Woo! Ultra Fiber.
No. But yeah, definitely, you guys know you can follow me on Twitter, Delilah_HD. Also catch me on Grown Women Gaming. Like Infamous said, we got a new time, so it's gonna be 12 p.m. Eastern.
When y'all gonna invite me over? You know what I'm saying?
We got some announcements we're gonna be bringing it up pretty soon, so just stay tuned. But yeah, definitely thank you for rocking out with us, everybody in the chat. We appreciate all the love. It felt really good to kind of be back with the squad this week, and I did miss you guys. So
did you miss me?
No, everybody except you. Nah, man, you know I missed you. But anyway, thanks everyone. We do appreciate you guys supporting us. We do know it can run a little long and you know it can be a little late, but just thank you so much for the support. So.
Yeah, thank you. I try to be on time, ladies. I try. Anyway, so okay. Anyway, okay. We get to our guest. Well, he's not really so much of a guest, but you know what I'm saying. He's one of our correspondents. So what's up with you, Knuckles? Where can they find you at? Go ahead and do your sound outs.
Of course. Hey, again, thank you for having me on out here. Of course.
He's in the tunnel.
Hey, nah, man, I had to go take care of something real quick. Look, you can catch me on Saturdays. Hey, you can catch me Saturdays on my show, Smash Podcast. We do it sometimes at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern, or other times we'll do it 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern for guests. We talk all things comics, movies, anime, manga, that kind of stuff, all your nerdy stuff to really get your mind going and get you buzzing out there. Of course, you can catch me here, and then, find me on Twitter at Bloody Knuckles.
All right, no doubt, man. I'm looking at these girls, these two comedians. I love when women wear big earrings, man. That turns me on. Anyway, let me get on to it.
Ghetto fabulous.
I'm just saying, I love them big old
We're
earrings.
watching HBO. I saw that shit last
You
night.
looking at it right now? Watching HBO right there. I'm like, ooh, shit. Anyway, all right. So what? Prometheus. What's going on with you, bro? Where everybody can find you at? Hey, man, you have been working. This man needs to get to that 1,000 immediately, man. He is on the GRG podcast channel, or I should say the GRG channel, and he is working. Go ahead and go support that. Go check out the channel. Man,
appreciate that, Meg. Appreciate
did you guys even notice the video I dropped this week? I'm sorry.
You didn't drop it on the GRG channel?
No, I put it on my channel. I'm trying to get my channel back going.
And you need to drop it on the GRG channel. You
drop some on the GRG channel.
I
do not worry about K-Mega 405.
Listen to this hot mess. Go ahead, let Prometheus go ahead.
It was a good show. I checked you out.
It was good people.
I'll check out your video. I'm sorry.
Out here, I try to put my videos out, even though I caught the K-Mega flu bug this week. But yes, try to get us up to them 1,000 subs, man. I'm definitely keep it real. And my channel is definitely the channel of Gamers Got a Voice. It's all about us. Everybody else stand behind us. Facts.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Anybody that thinks that we have issues or problems or that we ain't serious about this, man, you got another thing coming. You know what I'm saying? We committed. We're all about this. So Livewire, Donald Trump, where can they find you at, man?
My channel. I haven't really been putting up anything recently because
you haven't. Yeah, what's up, man?
I know. I mean, my window of putting stuff up has been a little tight, so I'm gonna try to get some stuff up there. I haven't given people a rant video in a little bit, but I'll be up there. I listen. I still listen. I hear things. I just haven't said too much recently, but I'll drop some gems later.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, we'll be waiting for it, and then we'll move on to Triple Cup Chuck. You know what I'm saying? The Vibration Podcast. What's going on with you, bro?
And it's up, man. It's your boy Triple Cup Chuck.
Do you like girls with big earrings?
I mean, yeah, I do, because you know what I'm saying, they come with the everything else be around to usually be right when they be wearing the big earrings. Either the big earrings and the shower cap. Oh yeah, man. They the truth. Yeah, it's always up. I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
But yeah, anyway though, look, Triple Cup Chuck, Triple Cup, one word, then Chuck all around the board. Vibration Podcast on Wednesday night, 11:10 Central.
I ain't gonna lie, that is.
Yeah, whatever he just said. And yeah, he kind of stole the rhythm, but at the same time though, next Wednesday we're gonna be strictly Black Panther. It's gonna be spoilerific. They know how to do it, so come out there, enjoy yourself. And we had actually the first tie ever I got a segment called Off With Your Head. It get real brutal. We had a tie. The rest of it going down this week. Come check it out. Vibration Podcast.
Yes, no doubt, man. Go check out my boy. And definitely, man, if y'all want to hit me up, because I'm definitely going to see Black Panther Sunday.
Are you coming out next Wednesday?
Yeah, I'm coming. Did you see it last night? What did you think?
It was amazing. Go see it.
Ooh, I can't. Well, I'm definitely see. I already got my tickets. I'm ready to go.
I had to buy my tickets a month in advance.
I did. Well, it was
I bought mine like January 16th is when I looked at my stuff.
It was like a January 20th or something like that. Yeah, when we bought ours, and then you know what I'm saying, it's got like 5 people going.
I've never had to do that. Not even for Star Wars. I didn't have to buy it a month.
I still ain't seen Star Wars.
Then Star Wars broke all the records.
That's joint is insane. It's good though. I want to see it again. I'm gonna go see it again probably Sunday.
Yeah,
really? Oh wow. Yeah, I'm gonna see it Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point in time, man, I was over here wondering, because I mean, I've been off work because I had that flu and I was worried about my check, and I was wondering if I had to sneak in some popcorn and some soda and some candy. But you know what I'm saying? The check was right. So you know what I'm saying? We gonna do it the right way. We gonna buy the Fred and Ginger. So I'm ready.
Nobody better not go watching on Cody.
Yeah, bet nobody watch Black Panther on Cody and have the audacity to talk about canon. If you do, I'm lighting your ass up. I'll make my first diss video. I promise you I will. I promise you I will. Anyway,
don't disrespect Cody.
Yeah, anyway, 100, where can they find your
disrespect
bum ass? Where can they find you at? And if you really want some of that Madden, man, you better come on here.
Tonight, I'm finna get off this bad boy. I'm finna go jump on the Xbox Live like my man Triple Cup Chuck. You know, we always up. You know what I'm saying? He can get this work too, because you know I'm down south with it.
All night
But you know what I'm saying? Y'all can check me out. Make sure y'all go and hit that dislike button on my channel. Please have me 500 million negative subs. You know, so I'm trying to do something that's different.
Yeah, anyway, I do want to say one thing. The team of us will be hitting the E3, and we'll be bringing E3 to y'all in a different way.
Oh definitely. Yeah, we definitely
with our cups up.
We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun with that.
Have some fun with this. Yeah, no doubt about that. And yeah, man, big shout out to All Day Digital. Said he got brain surgery. Messy, that boy.
Yeah,
messy,
got some
boy.
ice.
That boy, messy boy. I know exactly what he did.
He used a Q-tip and called it brain surgery. Seriously.
Anyway, man, you know what I'm saying. Hey, big shout out to our boy Fonzarelli, man. I heard that he's going through some things. You know what I'm saying. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying. I know that All Day and Fonzarelli, they don't be on the show as much, but it's the fact of it is that they got to take care of business and do the things that they got to do. And you know, for whatever that's going on with Fonzarelli's life, my heart's felt because you know what I'm saying he's still part of the GRG family regardless, and so that is what it is. So anyway, man, this is your boy K Mega 405. I'm about to sip on some Ciroc. I'm about to whoop some ass and some Madden. And please, people that are listening in Twitter, let me know what y'all want me to play on the GRG game night tomorrow night because I'm really baffled. I don't know what
we are playing Seeds of Thieves. That's what we gonna play. We
Seeds of Thieves.
So anyway, thank you guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Show support. You know what I'm saying? And thank you, man. 1 year anniversary, man. This is awesome, man. I'm floored, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed, and thank you guys. All right, man. We are out. Good night. Peace.
Happy birthday.